Welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing podcast, Boxing Debate Arena, special Sunday edition for your asses. That's right, your dirty asses. This is your host, Mr. BDA. Glad that everybody could be on board for this one. My trusty co-host, Bucho, is on the line as well. Bucho, are you there? All right, Bucho seems to be muted, but I suppose he'll be on here eventually. No, he's trying to write me something here. But again, thanks everybody for joining us. I'm back. Let me tell you something. You have not been in contact with the Lord unless you see the holy city of Jerusalem. That's just my opinion here. All right. Now, all right. Wait a minute. You got to make the hangouts on air public. Well, how do I do that, Bucho? Are you there though? It's always something here. You gotta make the hangouts public. I don't know how to do that, Bucho. All right, gentlemen. We'll take a second here. What are people saying in the chat? Bucho, BDA is Bucho's AI experiment. Oh, Chris Gonzalez is up with the fucking conspiracy theories again. That Bucho and myself or that I'm not real. Come on. BDA is real. You know it. Go to events, hangouts that we used to talk public. I don't know what that means. All right. Jerusalem, is that the hood Browne was talking about? No. All right, Bucho, you got to come in here and let me know, man, because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You got to go to the hangouts we use and go public. I mean, what the fuck? I thought you set up everything, Bucho. Come on. Oh, boy. We got a lot of guests that are going to be coming in here as well. So watch out for that one. And, all right. Oh boy. Yeah, a lot of guests. Maybe. We don't know. A couple of surprises. We're going to talk obviously about the Browne fight as well. But, I mean, that's the main one. We also had a good undercard. Pretty decent undercard. Even though on paper it didn't look all that good. But we had a lot of interesting things happening on that one as well. Light heavyweight matchup. And hold on a second. Give me a second here. All right, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Technical issues here with the fucking hangouts. But we should be good. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Browne, Pacquiao, the big one yesterday. I want to get Bucho on here. That's what we were trying to fix here so that people could come in. But I want to ask Bucho his opinions. We're going to, bounce off of our opinions. Cameron muted BDA. Jason Bourne says Cameron muted BDA. All right, now let's see what people are saying in the chat room real quick before Bucho gets in here. All right, we got to go back here long ways. All right, Cachenlo says AB equals another beating. Oh, Revolucion says AB average baboon. Come on, I mean, listen, the guy put up a good fight. I don't understand why people get it. I mean, I know it's a thing, the thing in vogue to hate Broner. Then again, he did fight a pretty shitty fight. We're gonna get to that. Shelton Film Production says Broner only won 2 rounds. Shepherd Son says, should like we're going to watch the 10 Commandments or something. BDA's Bucho say experiment. Let me tell you a couple of 3 things. That's right. All right, Bucho, there's a. Are you there?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. I'm just reading a couple of comments before we continue. BDA, Brandon White, shout out to Brandon, says BDA, you sound like you lost your voice. What are you talking about? My voice is just as strong as ever, especially after I went to the gates of Jerusalem. When I crossed there, man, let me tell you something. You feel God everywhere when you go to Jerusalem, the holy city. The Punisher says Brandon White, too much coke does that. Now wait a minute, you motherfuckers. You know, I come back here after a couple of episodes where I've been MIA, and all of a sudden people tell me I'm losing my voice, I'm a cocaine addict. Oh, I'm a hologram according to Chris Gonzalez. Go fuck yourselves. Shepherd the Sun says, I gave him a Broner 2 rounds out of sympathy. My goodness gracious. Precise says no sound. All right, we're back. Carneval says Adrien Broner showed more heart than joy. All right, let's start. Bucho, let's start with this fucking fight because we were talking about before, you and I in private, about, well, how is Broner going to win this fight? What can he do against Pacquiao, even a 40-year-old version of Pacquiao? And we saw last night what his plan was, which was try to recreate what Mayweather had done back in 2015, which is move, counter off of whatever Pacquiao did. And obviously it didn't work. I mean, after last night, actually, you have to give Mayweather credit that, yeah, he moved a lot and clinched a lot, which was boring. But at least he put... Like, in other words, what I'm trying to say is if you're going to fight the way Mayweather did, you have to at least have accuracy on your side. And Broner, no fucking accuracy, right, Bucho?
Yeah, no accuracy. But now I'm starting to believe, I mean, that injury against Mayweather, the shoulder injury, looks like it was, I think it was true, though, that he was injured because after that, we saw him against Jesse Vargas, and he didn't look, he looked like he would still throw like a lot of punches. The injury wasn't bothering him. And then against Jeff Horn, same thing. And now in this fight, so you know what? I think he was fucking injured, man.
But what do you like? How much he was fighting Adrien Broner, and it's not like he was using that right hand that much.
No, but he was throwing punches, man.
He was throwing punches against Mayweather too, but he was just we talked. Let's hold on. Let's get to that. Let's get to the fucking Pacquiao. His inability to really judge the distance very well. I mean, there was a lot of times where he was jumping in, he was looking off balance, not able to cut the distance. He was allowing Broner to clinch him or slip out of the ropes. Pacquiao needs, if he wants to beat Mayweather, which it doesn't look like it's even going to happen in the rematch, he should learn how to keep that distance a little better, don't you think?
Nah, man, listen, I think Mayweather doesn't even want this fight anymore, man. Right now, he's just focusing on MMA fighters and like small Japanese fighters who are not even boxers. That's what he wants, man. He doesn't want Pacquiao, man. Especially after this performance, there's no way in hell does he want to fight him. So,
well, to his credit, I heard that he's going to try to dig up Mini-Me's body and get into a fight with him. So maybe he's going after big names at least.
Yeah, he's a smart businessman. You gotta give him that, right?
Well, he was wearing glasses.
Man, you need like an Einstein type of brain to fucking come up with that shit, man. Yeah,
he was wearing glasses last night, so reading glasses, so he must be smart. I mean, why else would you wear reading glasses?
Yeah.
All right, listen. I want to get some of the people that just came in here, their opinions as well. Who do we have? Because there's so many people that Bucho, who are some of the people that I'm not familiar with?
All right, we already got a bunch of people. Okay, that's Cameron. You know Cameron, right?
I remember Cameron.
Yeah. He has AIDS now, apparently.
Oh, my God.
No, okay. We have Gonzalo, Mexican, living in, Mexican-American. He's living in the Philippines. And then there's, the boxing junkie, right?
The boxing junkie? Yeah.
From Baltimore, I think. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he beat the charges, right? He's the one that beat the charges?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
all right.
Yes, I did.
That's right. Stick it to the man. That's what you got to do. All right.
Shout out to Senator Stone. Senator Stone.
Senator Stone. I don't know what the fuck that is. All right. So before we continue,
my attorney.
All right. So I want to welcome
Attorney.
great attorney. You should talk to my attorney, Rafael Shapiro. The best, the best. All right. Let me introduce some of the people we didn't. All right. So we got Gonzalo Arroyo. We got Boxing Junkie. We also have Precise and Cameron. So you know what that means. Let's start with Cameron's intro.
Fuck, mate, it's life, man. You only live once. Make the most of life. Enjoy it. Because everybody's got their weird fetishes, man. And mine just happens to be eating fucking ass.
And we got Corruption.
Let me break it down.
Oh, sorry. Precise. My God. I tell you, a couple of episodes off and...
Dependent upon how you interpret the data.
What's up with all the transvestites in Hollywood, though?
Because if you're a postmodernist and you don't have any standards, you're always going to keep moving the goalpost, and you're never going to stick to your own standards because you don't have any standards.
All right. Gentlemen, thank you for being on. I'm glad to talk to you. It's been a while. Who wants to go first regarding the last night's event? Anybody?
I'll take that up.
Go
right
ahead,
here.
Boxing.
All right. Adrien Broner is showing signs of pugilistic dementia.
Oh.
All right. Manny Pacquiao, it was a sad night because he's old. Just like that, he's old. He
Okay.
was not fainting enough. What happened to the goddamn foot movement? All right.
Well, there was a lot of foot movement. That was the problem. Not enough hand movement.
He all balance a bit there.
Yeah.
Pacquiao is nothing like he was, but enough to beat Broner. I don't know about any of the other top welterweights. I also think Manny underestimated Broner. He's focused on a Mayweather fight, you know. So, but something about Broner, man. This guy has no chill. All right. Nothing is, you know. There's a line out there that we know not to cross because there's no coming back. Broner saw that line and fucking ran right through it. Just disrespecting everybody. And guess what? One day, he's going to run into the right person. All right? And his brains will be everywhere.
Oh, now wait a minute. Are you saying he's going to run into the wrong person?
The right person.
Well, yeah, well, the right, wrong. I mean, I get what you're saying.
The right person at the wrong time.
He burned, you're right, man. He was burning bridges like crazy last night. I mean, throughout this whole event. I mean, Jim Gray. First of all, you never want to piss off Jim Gray because he looks like the type of guy that just has no empathy whatsoever. And he'll stick you in the chair and torture you till you die. Then he went after Al Bernstein, one of the most...
How the hell you disrespect Al Bernstein?
Exactly. No, I mean, seriously, there's something wrong going on here with Broner. And then, well, actually, let's go back to the fight itself. He moved way too much. Okay, so now let's get somebody else's opinion in here, like regarding the fight. Who else wants to go?
Fuck it, I'll go.
All right.
Everybody.
What'd you say?
Where you been, BDA?
I went to the pilgrimage, and now I'm back,
You
rejuvenated.
visited Adonis in the hospital. How's he doing?
No, wait a minute. That's not me. That's Low Place's religion. He doesn't take his kids to
met
church.
up over there?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't take his kids to church. He just makes them watch Adonis Stevenson fights. And now that he's out of his coma, man, forget about it. He's the Messiah.
Yeah.
He woke up after 3 days. All right, so
Superman's
Sins
back.
forgiven.
all the sins are forgiven. Exactly. All right, so Precise, what did you make of last night's fight?
Well, I think Brunner did it for the hood, man. He did it. He laid it all on the line. You know, he shows what a real hood people are all about. Yeah, you know, it was all over again, wasn't it? I mean, what can you say? Adrien Broner, you know, he came to try to make rounds, maybe get a knockout, like a lucky punch maybe, and be a good decision. He he disgraced himself. He didn't put it all on the line, and Pacquiao was just cruising. Yeah, I see how you could criticize Pacquiao maybe for not like stepping on the gas a little bit more. But look, man, he's 40 fucking years old. He's got nothing else to prove. He's winning comfortably. Why should he be laying anything on the line at this point in time? I don't get it. But I just thought Broner, he disgraced himself, and you know, Pacquiao looked old, but he's still a top 5 welterweight. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Even though he's old, he's little, he's definitely a top 5 welterweight. He's going to give a good fight to any one of the top guys. And, you know, you had a semi-retired 40-year-old senator beating the shit out of a real hood, you know what. So that's that.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because it's true what you said. I mean, Pacquiao is the guy that's semi-retired, and yet he was the one coming forward trying to make something happen. Meanwhile, the 29-year-old fighter is the one running all over the ring, barely letting his hands go. It really is indicative of why one guy is an all-time great and the other guy's never was. And I mean, he's a pretty good fighter, Broner, but was that Bucho?
And
nothing. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, it would be okay if he was winning the rounds doing that. Fine, acceptable, even though not very entertaining. But he wasn't. He was losing every single goddamn round. I only gave him 1, maybe 2. But you know, when you're down like that, what are you doing? Why aren't you going out on your shoe? This is the best fight you've ever fought. This is the biggest opportunity to redeem your career, if there's even a chance of that. You know, there's another payday, big payday after that, probably a rematch with Pacquiao if you win. You know, what are you doing?
Exactly.
You're just content to lose. It was disgraceful, man. I'm sorry.
Well, like I said, that's the difference between an all-time great and a guy that never got to that, will never get to that level. It's the mentality, the willingness to put it all on the line. Now, my criticism about Pacquiao was just that he seemed too overeager. You know, he was jumping in, allowing Broner to spin him, clinch. I mean, you can't do that against a guy like Broner when he's in survival mode, you know? And I would have liked to have seen Pacquiao go to the body a little bit more. Right hooks to the body. He's never been that...
I would have liked to see him feint some, because he could have really got inside. And, you know, when Pacquiao does that constant feinting, he's real tricky with it. But about the hood, in the hood, when you say AB, all they say is, "What up, G?"
What does that mean?
AB. AB.
Oh.
What up, G?
Bitch.
Okay, I get it. Jeez, Luis. I don't know what's wrong with me. Listen.
They don't know no AB.
Well, look, listen, hold on.
I would have, I agree with you. I would have liked to see Pacquiao do this or do that, but it's like, what former flyweight champion is ever in the history of boxing was still a viable fighter in any weight division at the age of 40? I mean, these guys are supposed to burn out, especially with Pacquiao's style. Like, these guys are supposed to burn out, you know, when they're 30, 32. So, yeah, we're seeing Pacquiao in there, and yeah, he's exceeded expectations, and yes, we judge him by a higher standard. I understand all of that, absolutely. But just to see him be able to beat someone, even if, yeah, there's definitely a lot to criticize, but at this age, this little guy in this division, to still beat even someone like ADRIEN Broner, it's like, we could criticize his performance, no doubt about it, but I'm not really going to ask much of Pacquiao anymore, except I want to see the Spence fight.
Yeah, everything
that
he
I
does.
want to see.
Everything he does from this point on, actually everything he's been doing since he moved up past 140 pounds, it's all been icing on the cake, really. I mean, it's more than most guys will ever achieve. All right, now listen, we got Apology and we got Reverse Lee as well. So let's play those intros right now.
Big of the devil, and it shall appear.
She just wanted the drama and you two to fight over her. That's what women do.
Your punishment must be masturbate.
all of you.
Bitches are stupid. I treat them like shit. That's how you get one to eat a dick. Never be sweet to a bitch.
Reverse me. Reverse me. Reverse me.
People say that's where you go if you want your career to blow up.
California, man. That's
the land of the pedophiles.
All right, guys. Thank you for being on. Let's get somebody, though, that got here first and that hasn't talked. Gonzalo or Cameron, you want to chime in on last night's fight?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. What I have to say about ADRIEN BRONER, I mean, everybody knows he makes a fool of himself, and I think the props that people do give him in the press conference are just kind of, you know, he makes a fool of himself, so they're giving him props because they kind of feel embarrassed for him. You know, even his mom and his family acknowledged that that he didn't win, you know. And as far as the fight, him saying that he controlled the distance, I think, to tell you the truth, at 29 years old, Broner has never really had a good boxing game. The only thing he perfected was what we were able to see in the ring. That's like his highest level, his highest gear, you know. And as far as Pacquiao, I remember Precise said a long time ago, when has he ever not been in a competitive fight? In those 7 losses, if you take away the 2 fights that he got robbed, that decision with Morales, and, you know, and that defeat with Marcus, and the 2 earlier losses in his career, and the fight with Mayweather, that at the very least I had it a draw. Pacquiao's always been a great fighter, and like you said, above 140 pounds, what he has done is just icing on the cake, you know. And if he would have stayed at 140, which he only had 1 fight, that was a real impressive performance when he iced Ricky Hatton, you know. So that shows the quality of fighter he is.
Mm-hmm.
What I did see in the fight that was impressive to me about Pacquiao, obviously he's not the same fighter. He was moving his waist. He wasn't darting in and out, but he was moving his waist pretty good. So, you know, I'm happy to see Pacquiao doing good, and it was a pretty entertaining fight. But that's what it is. And the hood don't care about Broner. When he says gang in the hood, you know, them $15,000 glasses that he was wearing. If he was out in the street, you know, they would kill you for something like that. You know, I'm doing this for the hood. The hood don't care about you.
Oh,
you know, that's just.
Yep.
Now, did he really do the hood prod by running?
Just pure ignorance.
He was, listen, we often talk about smart boxing and just running all over the place. Can we all agree that he was running last night?
Oh, fuck, yes.
Yes. He would have been a great track athlete, you know?
He ran like a bitch.
Oh, reversely coming in with the heat. All right, Cameron is
embarrassing. He was embarrassing at the end. Seriously, I mean, it was embarrassing.
Chase, like literal chase.
He looked like a guy. He looked like he owed Pacquiao at least $5 to $50.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right, here we go. All right, hold on. We got X on the line, but before we get to him, I want to get Cameron's opinion here. We haven't gotten to him yet. Cameron, you're starting to creep me out with the silence and the picture there. What's going on?
The reason why I'm silent is because I haven't watched the fight yet.
Oh, really?
Oh.
No, I've not watched the fight, man. I'm not interested in that fight.
Come on.
All I liked was I haven't watched any fights this year yet. I just like the fact that
smashing puss and eating ass.
No, I just like the highlight of my weekend was Broner's post-fight interview, because obviously he didn't win a round, according to the people that I heard from. And his post-fight interview made me laugh. But now I'm just there just to
have fun.
Hear your guys' thoughts. Yeah, man.
Hey, Cameron, let me ask you. Can I ask something? In England, how much does a dose of PrEP cost over there per month? You know, the anti-HIV medication.
Do you know what, right? Did you say anti-what medication?
Anti-HIV medication.
Look, I got slaughtered last night on the show, and I got slaughtered in the chat literally about 10 minutes ago. I'm HIV-free. All right, let's get that clear.
All right.
I told you, that's rumors. That's rumors recognizing that motherfucker. Whatever.
I want to see some paperwork before we go there.
They're saying I've got the they're saying I've got the white man disease and everything. That's doing well.
Yeah, they're trying to poison you. That's what.
Well, at least he doesn't have the sickle cell anemia.
The CIA and the cracker made that shit, right, X?
Hey, speaking of X, we got X on the line. Hold on, let me play his intro right now.
Yeah, I'm here to tell it like it is.
Yo, here's the story, my man. We got to get a message out about brothers working for these white devils and not getting paid what they deserve.
All right, we got X on the line.
I just want to say, right?
Man, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. I'm shedding out a tear over here right now.
X,
Little tears coming down.
X,
hold on, Cameron. I got your back, Cameron. Don't worry about it.
I want to say something, X. I want to say that it's good to see you, bro. It's good to see you, bro, after all this time, man. I've been worried
about to save you, Cameron. I've been in the hospital, too.
Yeah, man.
Okay?
All right.
Yeah, I've been in the hospital.
Was that a Jackson 5 song?
No, that was not a Jackson 5 song.
Mind your business, you little boy.
That was a song straight from the continent, the old continent. All right, listen. What was I going to say? Fuck, you motherfuckers with your BS. All right. I'm trying not to curse so much. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask one question to everybody. Just a psychological question. Do you think Adrien Broner was acting so pissy after the fight because he was more disappointed with himself rather than with this imaginary notion that he should have won the fight?
No, I think he just feels that since he didn't get knocked out, that he was entitled to the traditional Al Heyman gift decision.
Yeah.
And he was mad that he didn't get that.
He fought like Floyd. He fought like
and
Floyd.
The cards were shit anyway.
Yeah, he fought like Floyd, so he thought he deserves a Floyd Mayweather win, but he's not Floyd Mayweather, and he didn't even fight like him.
Yeah, he tried to fight like him.
I think it was like a psychiatric breakdown or some shit he was having.
Huh.
Yeah, he's delusional because he was asking his corner, I won the 11th round, right? I won the 11th round, and the corner they had already known that by the 11th round he had already lost the entire fight. So, you know, by him knowing that he won the 11th round, which was questionable, what would have gained for him? Mm-hmm. Nothing. But the corner is just trying to give him, you know, a little bit of reassurance for his mental instability that he's showing, you know.
Yeah, you calm down.
It was over after the 7th.
Let me just say this quickly, okay?
Exactly.
This is why I try to warn AB, stay away from that fucking coon Mayweather, because this is what he does. Okay? Now I'm not saying hold on, let me finish, goddammit. I'm not saying AB won. I ain't saying he won the fight, but he looked like he was poisoned to me. If you ask me, just my honest opinion. Okay. He looks poisoned.
Possible.
Yeah, apology. I don't really care what you have to say, okay, you devil.
Let me
say again.
I said apology drinks goat blood. He has no opinion, man.
Yeah, he has no opinion. I don't care.
Al Heyman is gonna suck the poison out of his ass.
Oh, what's the matter with you?
Shouldn't you be in bed?
Wait, who's off?
You think I want to see that fucking
bed, sleeping, getting ready for school?
Hey, I got a question for X. Gang.
Nah, you see, man, you saying it all wrong. You're saying it all wrong. Okay, first of all, he should have came to the right side. Hold on, man. Let me speak. I told him to stay away from that coon. He wanted to represent for the hood. You got to stay away from coons, okay? Mayweather's a known coon. Everybody knows this. Anybody with half a brain knows that motherfucker Mayweather sold out a long time ago, okay?
Yeah.
He ain't nobody, okay? You should come to our side, wilder side.
Well, I guess everybody fell off.
I'm on the wilder side, man.
X ran everybody out of the room, man. Everybody in the hangouts left. X.
That's because his opinion is the most important one.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
Well, listen, having me and Cameron on is the way to go, to be honest.
Hey, X, before everybody gets back here and we continue the Adrien Broner Pacquiao subject, who did you have for Fight of the Year? I'm curious.
That's easy. Deontay. Deontay Wilder. He knocked out 2 boogermans. 2.
All right.
Okay?
Well, he didn't knock out Tyson Fury, though.
If that fucking referee had done his job and not counted at 30, okay, we wouldn't be talking about this right now.
Oh, come on. It's already been proven that it was a 10 count. I mean, it wasn't a 10 count. He got up.
Shut up. John Gonzalez, the fucking...
Yeah, fuck him.
Hey,
I hate Gonzalez.
Shut up, asshole.
I'm going to get you, La Bamba. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to get you. I'm going to kill you. Tell me where you at. Tell me where you at. I want to find you.
John, you look like a 5-year-old Mikey Garcia, bro. Sit down, man.
Oh.
All
right, can we get back to business? Can we get back to business here?
This time, he doesn't look like a serial killer anymore.
All right, listen. We got to get back to business here, gentlemen. The Broner
get accused in prison.
The reason why I brought up the question of whether Broner was faking the outrage is because he said something interesting before the decision was announced. He kept saying, That's smart boxing. That's smart boxing. And then when Pacquiao went up to him and he said, or somebody said to him, "You're a tough fighter," and he says, "No, no, no, I'm more than tough." It's like, who the fuck says that if they really thought they won the fight? You know what I mean? Like,
BDA, my brother, can I just, before I leave this damn show, because you got John on here, he gives me acid reflux, so I gotta
all right.
But let me tell you what I think happened. Okay?
Go ahead.
All right, from good sources, like my brother Wilder. Okay, we talk all the time. Now let me explain to you what happened. Do you remember what AB said? He said that coon told him the secret to beat Manny Pacquiao. Okay, and we all know Floyd ain't got no secrets. He didn't beat no Manny Pacquiao. Okay, that coon just tap danced and ran. That's all he did. Okay, now think about that for a second. He never liked AB. That's why I said, AB, you need to come to our side, the best side. Okay,
the west side.
Nah, I ain't down with no motherfucking west side.
All right.
Right. So, but look. What I'm saying is this. This is all I'm saying. Broner was tricked. That's why the outrage was the way it was.
I see. Well, it's an interesting theory, X. You always get the right theories there. But we thank you for being on. And
I always keep it 100.
You always keep it 100% X. That's what they call you, 100% X. All right, listen.
And shout out to the panelists and fuck apology. Fuck John Gonzalez. Yeah.
BDA.
All right.
Why are you still here?
BDA.
Yeah.
God bless you,
I
bro.
apologize. I'll never like you.
God bless you.
BDA, I have something to say.
Go ahead.
I kind of wonder what I don't understand. You know, they talk about Broner having a real good chin, and he does show a decent chin, like he has a good chin. And why doesn't he punch with conviction? He showed that he could throw a few shots like he did and landed in the fight, that he can punch with conviction. Because he landed a few flush shots, an uppercut that was really good. So if you have a good chin, why don't you put it on the line and land those quality shots if you have a good chance of standing up and not being knocked out, because you have shown that you can take a punch. So that's what gets me the most. You know, he left it on the table. You know, if you have that kind of chin, just go in there and trade. You're probably not going to get knocked out if you rely on it and people say, like you showed that you do have one. I mean, that's just, I don't think he's that good, you know, or he's not that tough like people say.
Hold on. Yeah. Apology wanted to answer that point. Apology, go ahead, please.
Yeah, he's short. That's why.
Whoa.
He can't. Even
at 29, you think he's shot?
No, it's the same Broner as always, guys. Let's stop this shit.
Yeah, it's the same Broner, man. Come on, it's
the same Broner.
I thought Broner looked good, man.
He looks slower, older.
I mean, that's up to you.
To take Broner's shot. I said this on the podcast last night. I said Broner's never been elite. He's been a gatekeeper all his career. He's been beat by every top guy he's fought. I mean, all of us knew what was going to happen last night. None of us are surprised by that result.
Yeah, but he's even worse now. That's my point.
Apology. Let me make a comparison real quick. Look, Juan Pablo Cesar Cano, who knocked out Linares, he's 29 years old with 7 losses. He was put in there in tough fights. And, you know, maybe he's not the best fighter, but some fighters come into their own later in their career after they've been put in tough. At 29 years old, Broner, he's with the style of fighting, I don't think he has a whole lot of wear and tear. So I think, you know, he's got the ring knowledge and the ability still to go in there and put up a good fight if he really wanted. The whole thing about him being shot, I don't believe.
Real quick,
I don't believe it either.
Go ahead.
No, I think we got the best version of Broner. It's just that the level of opponent was better. Pacquiao shut his ass down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
hold on. Let me tell you why I think that. To me, Broner looked fast. He looked sharp. He saw the openings. He didn't always have the balls to take the openings, but when he did, he was successful. Another thing that I think he did better than I've seen him do in the past is he was actually light on his feet. He wasn't as flat-footed. Yeah, the stance was still wide. It wasn't perfect, but this is as good a Broner as I've ever seen. And you should expect that at the age of 29. And you honestly want to tell me that he didn't bust his ass in the gym preparing for Pacquiao? I mean, yeah, he got in the ring and he choked. Fine. But you telling me he didn't train his ass off in the gym for this opportunity? I don't for one second believe that. And to boot, I'll say this much. I think he's looked better since getting with Cunningham. I think. But Braun is Broner, right? He's never going to be great. He never was. He never will be. But to me, he looked as sharp as I've ever seen him. It's just that the level of opponent was that much higher. Go ahead, bro.
Great call, Precise. Great call.
Hold on. What apology?
Yeah, the
great call, Precise.
Thanks, put little apologies
to answer Gonzalo's question. Like Carlo, what does Carlo do in his life? He trains in the gym, right? He doesn't go out and drink. He doesn't like smoke weed, bang like 7 different baby mamas. He has a better lifestyle, like a boxing lifestyle. Broner doesn't have that, and that damages your body over long periods of time. So that's why, in my opinion, I think he's shot. But
no, Broner also, he looked better at lightweight. You know, he was fighting little midgets like Alvin Reese and Shot DeMarco and stuff like that. He looked amazing. And then we started moving up in weight, and he never impressed anyone at welterweight.
But you guys wouldn't agree that he has the ability to throw punches with conviction, because he landed a really, really sharp, good uppercut in the end of the round, and he put a few punches together here and there. So if he was able to do it a couple times, wouldn't he be able to do it more often than not?
But Gonzalo,
he didn't do.
Gonzalo,
yes.
What fighter exchanges with Pacquiao? Name one guy that did. Biggest Margarito.
Marcus,
they all get shut down.
Marcus and maybe Morales because he's a fucking psycho. But other than that, there's
who exchanged with Pacquiao at welterweight above 140?
Oh yeah. That's the thing. I'm agreeing with you. I mean, look, Cotto tried it. He got knocked the fuck out, and then he started going on the defensive. Everybody that fights Pacquiao, even Marcus said it. I think Bucho was telling me that Marcus in an interview said that the first time he fought Pacquiao, he actually thought he was bigger than Pacquiao when he saw him in person. And that's why he started out so fast in the first round. He said, it's going to be easy. And then, boom, all of a sudden, he starts letting his hands go, and he catches you by surprise. He does that to everybody. Almost everybody he fights. Like, even against Mayweather, the fight he lost, he managed to stagger Mayweather in the 4th round. So, theoretically, Gonzalo's right. Broner did have the tools to put up a better fight, but that's the difference between an all-time great and a guy that's just, very good. It's the willingness to take chances and let those hands go. And Broner just doesn't have that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just one quick thing. Broner and JC Vargas went to fucking war together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both Broner and Vargas ran from Pacquiao. So
exactly.
That tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How tall is Pacquiao? Because I don't know if this is a technique. Yeah, I don't know if it's a technique he does, but he looks like longer and taller than his opponents. Like, the way he manages distance, he fights sometimes like he's the taller man or the
because he cuts it so quickly, man. That's because he cuts that distance very quickly. Especially, it's those calves, man. Like I've said it before, those Asian calves, man. They allow him to bounce back and forth real quick. It's amazing that even at 40 years old, the guy still physically is able to outspeed guys like Broner and Jesse Vargas, because they're pretty quick themselves, and they're like 10 years younger than the guy. So very impressive.
I've said it before. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Look, no, it's all good. I'm going to shut up in a second. Yes, there's a lot to criticize about Pacquiao lunging in. That definitely has its cons, but that's just who he is. This is what he does, and there's a reason why he does it. Yeah, it's going to get him in trouble against another all-time great like Marquez, but nobody else really. Mm-hmm. So, he does this on purpose. He has to do it because he's shorter. Generally, he's got shorter arms, and most of his opponents run away from him. He has to do it to get to him. It looks sloppy. It makes him vulnerable, but it also, gets the job done. So, go ahead.
Yeah, so far. Yeah, Gonzalo.
What I saw, what I saw that was really interesting, he didn't do enough, a lot of it, but he did do it. Instead of lunging in, on the few occasions, he broke his waist. Kind of like a Julio Cesar Chavez, bobbing and weaving. And that showed that was pretty good, because he was still able to feint without going in and trading.
Right. Yeah, and
but
yeah, go ahead.
These Filipinos are really strong. I live here close to General Santos, and they got these things called trikes.
Racist.
And they carry these 50 50-pound sacks of 50-kilo sacks of rice, and they can throw 250-kilo sacks of rice on their back.
Whoa.
You know, they load them up these little trikes and they put them on their backs. They're really strong.
You think it's the dog? You think it's a dog they eat, or
this is a racist person?
Racist, very racist.
Very racist. I'm very surprised. Very surprised with you, Gonzalo.
That works for the blacks too. They've been carrying so much kilos of powder.
Oh, now wait a minute.
What is going on?
What is going on
here? My bad. I crossed the line.
But there you have to remember the cotton is even heavier, so you have to have a bigger. I mean, the cotton is lighter, so you have to have a bigger bag.
Well, that's why black people don't have.
Correct.
When have you ever seen a black guy with strong legs? They don't work their legs. They always work the upper body. They're always ripped in the upper body, but the legs, like Deontay Wilder, #1 example.
I don't know what you're talking about, because if they didn't have strong legs, how would they be able to run from the police? So
all right, this is not going in a direction that I'm comfortable with. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on, please. Hold on a second. We got.
How much is 100 kilos in
hold on, let BDA talk.
Yeah, I got to introduce. We got recognized in the house.
Don't get fooled when they tell you that the crime rate is down in New York. Every time I watch the local news, they're always talking about, well, there was a stabbing here, there was a stabbing there, there was a shooting there, but the crime is down.
All right. We got recognized, already preparing for the summer and the Puerto Rican Day Parade. That's how they start. They start planning already in January. Recognize her there?
That's right.
That's right.
We're gonna have our music blasting. We're gonna annoy people. We're gonna be scaring people.
And you gotta keep those. You gotta keep those Dominicans out, right?
Nah, Dominicans can chill with us, man. I've never been against Dominicans.
Well, that's not what you told us in the private chat room. But anyway.
Well, you know, when you have a crazy Dominican baby moms, it might change your outlook a little.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. All right, thank you for being here. Did you watch the fight last night?
Yes, I did.
And what are your thoughts, Broner? How many rounds did you give him? Did you think he put up a good fight?
2 rounds.
2 rounds. Wow.
Yeah, I think like the 4th round, and I may have given him another round. I have to go back. I wasn't really scoring the fight when I was watching it. All I kept saying was, "This guy ain't doing shit." Mm-hmm. I'm not saying Pacquiao was like, I'm not saying Pacquiao was doing, was like just on fire and just totally, looking like the old Pacquiao, but he was doing way more than him in every round, just about. So I can't give him any rounds. And what's going on with this shit that AB won the fight? I mean,
yeah. Some channels are saying this, man. Or at least he got a draw.
Blue blood.
Yeah, whatever his name is, Blue Blood, and there's another one too. It's like, yo, are you guys like you're mentally ill? That's what it is.
It's an agenda. But it's interesting that people that always talk about agendas are the ones that have it the most apparent. I mean,
just keep it real, man.
Exactly. How hard is it to do that?
Hey, why would you want to defend a guy like Broner, like the worst scum of the earth? Like, seriously.
Well, he's not the worst scum of the earth, but I get what you're saying.
He's up there in boxing, in the boxing world.
He has 5 kids and barely pays his child support.
Well, I think he had more than that.
If you're like totally into like this black consciousness, right? Whatever they call it, wouldn't your stomach turn and every time AB speaks?
Yeah, he sets back the movement.
This guy is proud. Listen to me. He's proud that he got 7 kids from 6 different women or whatever.
13.
Okay. Okay.
Daddy knows up.
Daddy knows up. Right. So think about that for a second. When you're actually proud of shit like that, I mean, okay, like you created a lot of life, and maybe that's okay. That's fine. If you're taking care of them, right? If you like taking care of your kids, and then so many goddamn different women. Like, look, I'm not one to speak. I got 3 from 3 different women, but
yeah. Well, listen, isn't it a little bit like in Boys in the Hood, where Morpheus tells his son that anybody can have a child, but not everybody can be it takes a man to be a father. So, I know I just butchered the quote, but isn't that like anybody? It's true. Anybody can have a kid, but it's raising it right that counts. And this fucking Broner, he seems like he's just shooting into anything that moves. And having a baby there, I mean, that's nothing worth respecting. You know what I mean?
Except for Pacquiao.
But he's a righteous Christian soldier who has been trying to make amends.
You said he shoots into everything he moves, into everything that moves. He doesn't shoot at Pacquiao.
Oh!
Pacquiao shoots at him.
Okay, but you get what I'm saying, right? Anyway, yeah, I don't want to get too much into the. Hey, now wait a minute. I don't want to get too much into the whole fucking social political aspect of Broner. I think we all know where he stands.
Well, he's a clown, right?
I thought we were talking about gay porn.
Yes,
that's later. That's later. Precise. Yeah. That's later.
AB. Anytime you speak of AB, you're like really on the hinge of gay porn. But look, the dude. No, it's true. I mean, he's. But,
ass to butt.
He's not like. Why is he's okay? Let's just stick to the ring. What's so good about him? What's good about him? What, that he can hang in there with like, better top 10 competition, but always come out in the losing end?
Yeah, that's what he wanted, man. That's why.
Well, look, okay. Can I say something about, like, how some people say there's agendas for certain fighters, these European fighters, and they have them up, and like black fighters have it very difficult in the sport. I mean, this guy has had it so easy. He always gets fights. He hasn't done shit in the sport, and yet he's still there getting fucking paychecks, man. And he was hyped up. Champ. Yeah, 4-division champ, my ass, man. And so, anyways, this guy he contradicts completely what these people are always saying, man. He's got it easy, man.
Yeah. I gave him 4 rounds against fucking Granados, man. I thought he beat the shit out of Broner. I don't know what fight people were watching.
In the post-fight interview, he says, "I'm not done. There's still Broner left for a while." And with him representing himself with that behavior, I mean, it just kind of contradicts himself. He says, "There's still Broner left for a while," and who really wants to see him? Unless that's what you're paying for, a sideshow circus.
Well, they can use him. They can recycle him. He's a perfect recycling machine because he's good enough to beat B-level fighters, but he can't quite get over that hurdle and beat the top 5% of the division. That's because, again, I go back to the mentality. He doesn't have the mentality of putting it on the line. And I see everybody just dropped off there. Everybody will be coming back here.
I'm not interested in having a conversation with anybody that thinks AB won. Only for one reason, it's just to laugh. Just to have a good laugh. Just because I know whatever they're going to tell me, I'm just going to start laughing. Because there's no way you could explain how he won that fight, how he even came close to winning that fight.
Yeah, that makes no sense, man. And that's the thing, like I said.
Yeah, go ahead.
After the fight, after the decision, before the decision, I tell you, Broner was saying, that's smart boxing. That's smart boxing. Like, this is the thing, and I was talking to Butch about this. When you're moving nonstop, at least, see, this is, again, Mayweather was able to do it, but that was because he was sharp. But if you're not as sharp as Mayweather, you're just running. And that's what Adrian Broner did last night. And sometimes he was standing his ground, sometimes, and then just throwing one single right hand. That's not going to get it done against a guy like Manny Pacquiao. And by the way, can we get fighters to stop yapping and fucking barking like a chihuahua every time they throw punches? Him, Broner, Lamont Peterson, all these fucking fighters.
Like he's having like somebody's pumping him and shit. Yo, he's everything he's the prototype. What's the word I'm looking for? The proto stereotype. Like, I just don't want to even look at that. I don't even know how anybody could defend this ignorant motherfucker. Like, he's just stupid as all.
And you know what the most pathetic thing is about Adrian Broner? He's still probably like top 3 PBC fighter as far as popularity goes, man.
Exactly.
He used to be number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a modern day minstrel show.
Maybe Wilder and what's his name? Spence are probably more popular than him.
Wilder, maybe. Wilder, I think, is more popular than
Broner.
Broner.
That's what I said. I think it's only Wilder and Spence.
Oh, okay.
Everybody else, I think that when it comes to Keith Thurman, he's just not active enough.
Yeah.
Danny Garcia, I wouldn't say he's more popular than
Charlos.
No way, man.
Spurs, hell no.
Broner was the biggest PBC star at one point, probably. I know they were promoting Keith Thurman in the beginning, but
hey, what did?
Excuse me, guys. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
About the Charlo, wasn't it great to see him crying, him and his brother, at the post-fight conference with one crying?
I don't like to see people suffer, man.
That was priceless. That was priceless.
I couldn't watch.
It reminded me of Low Place.
I don't like seeing people crying. I don't like seeing people crying. I mean, let me tell you something.
But this is.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is the PBC fighters, man. They're so spoiled, rotten. They're so pampered. When they don't get the decision go their way, that's why he was crying. Cause like, oh, don't like me. I was supposed to get this because he's used to getting these kind of decisions. How the fuck did he not get that one? Well, you know, he got spanked by Al Heyman. Basically, that's why he was crying.
Mm-hmm. And by the way,
he felt betrayed by Al Heyman, I think.
Yeah,
well,
daddy
listen,
issues.
I think there was some truth to what X, that mentally challenged midget, said about about. Oh, I'm sorry, but anyway, I'm not lying. But anyway, so one thing that I do agree with that he said was what was it that he said? He said, "Oh, Floyd gave him the wrong advice, and therefore he sabotaged him to lose the fight because he didn't think Mayweather beat Pacquiao, right? Because you know he hates Mayweather and all that shit, whatever." So, but I thought there was some truth to that. You see, listen, you're not going to be able to. First of all, you're not as sharp as Mayweather, right? At that point of his career,
right?
Probably still not. And on top of that, you don't have that name, so he's crying because he really thought I fought like Mayweather. I did the same thing.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's, again, I don't want to speak ill. I mean, listen, fucking guy, you can't, like Bucho was telling me the other day, just because you run around the ring, that's not smart fighting. Like anybody with a good professional with decent footwork can survive 12 rounds against Pacquiao. Mosley did it. Barrera did it in the rematch. Bradley did it. But that doesn't win you rounds. That just means that you're not letting the other guy get to you. And I mean, this fucking guy, that's what Broner did. Yeah, he landed a good shot here and there. Barely won any rounds. And he really thinks he won. Again, that's because of this new mentality of, hey, I'll run. I'll pop a shot here, pop a shot there, and I'm going to get the decision. Mayweather could do it. That's because he's Mayweather. Everybody else, they have to actually land punches to win. And like you said, Broner will never be Mayweather.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's the low expectations we have. Like, instead of actually trying to win, trying to surviving means you get the decision. It's like the Triple G Jacobs fight. Jacobs survives, so he wins the fight. No. He was running for like at least 30% of the fight for you. And he was controlling it. Was the ring general. Same as Pacquiao.
Guys, it's at the end of the day, it's a fucking fight. Can you imagine going home after like what Mayweather did against Pacquiao or what Broner did against Pacquiao, going home and telling all your boys that like you want to fight, you whoop somebody's ass? You know what I mean? Like, would you consider that a win on the street? And I know boxing isn't street fighting, but a fight is a fight.
Exactly. If both fighters fight like let's say instead of Mayweather Pacquiao, you had Mayweather against Mayweather, same style. You don't have a fight in your hands. There's no fight.
That would be horrible.
Precise. Let me explain something to you, right? Not I'm explaining to you, but let me just share it.
Yeah.
Okay, a fight is a fight, a street fight. The one thing you don't want to be doing is standing around, backing up too much, right? Because you'll pay for it instantly. It's because there's no referee, right? Now let's go to boxing. The referee, unless he's totally like, you know, in the pockets of one promoter over the other, right? He can just create distance for a little while, create rules, the rules, and say, look, don't do this, don't do that. Eventually, if you stand there and you run and you just keep running, okay, you're in danger all the time of getting hit. It's the same concept. You gotta fight your man. You gotta fight him. You gotta throw punches at him, because how's he gonna respect you? Mm-hmm. How's he gonna respect you if you're not doing anything? So tell me, if your opponent doesn't respect you, right? How is he winning that fight?
Exactly.
How do you win in the fight? Yeah, when you're getting backed up all night and you don't want to exchange with this dude. Why? Because you're gonna get knocked the fuck out. So it's like you ain't winning shit, man. You're not backing him up. You're not stopping him in his tracks. You're not catching him on the way in. Like, what else do you need, man? It's just pathetic performance.
Here's another question. Here's another question for all you guys, right? What's the sign of backing up? What's the number one sign of backing up from a fight?
What's the number one sign of a guy backing up? Well, fucking backing up.
You can't read his mind, right? I tell you what I think.
Wide eyes.
He's nervous. He's nervous.
Right.
He's very nervous most of the time. If he's backing up, meaning if he's not backing up trying to set his opponent up for punches, he's just trying to hit a shot and keep moving. I'm not talking about, setting your man up for a big counter. No. I'm talking about just like punching, like a little jab, and then getting out the way. That tells me he's nervous.
Recognize. It's simple. It's flee. It's the primitive
fight
or flight.
Yeah, Recognize talked about Recognize. You talked about this. You talked about this on one episode when Jimmy was on, about the natural inclination is to back up, but that you actually have to fucking land shots when you fucking back up. Otherwise, you're just backing up and landing one shot at a time. That's, like you said, it's not a real fucking fight.
If I start backing up, if not just me, but if a man starts backing up and he's not doing anything, that tells me he's under a lot of stress.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that tells me.
And technically, it is running in reverse, because if the ropes weren't there, Adrien Broner would have been in the fucking parking lot.
Yeah, it's true.
And I just want to say something. I want to clarify something, because I know people are going to say, well, wait a minute, what are you saying? Look, I don't want to go back to the fucking Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, but in my eyes, Mayweather won, because at least he was standing his ground and every once in a while during the rounds and catching Pacquiao with right hands. Now, whether you think that was entertaining or not, obviously it wasn't entertaining because he was clinching a lot and just relying on Pacquiao jumping in. But if you're going to back up, you got to do it. I'll give you an example of a guy that backs up and is able to make the other guy miss and pay by still standing. Mikey Garcia does it. Errol Spence, the guy he's going to fight, he does it too sometimes. He'll take just a little step back and then counter you. He's not running all over the fucking ring. Tyson Fury did it against Wilder. He wasn't running because he can't run because he's a fucking 300-pound giant. But he was catching him with jabs, staying in the pocket, rolling with the shots. That's effective boxing. Doing what Broner did against Pacquiao is not effective boxing. He was running, standing his ground every once in a while, missing when he threw the right hand. That's it. Like, you don't win a fight doing that. Sorry. Just doesn't happen.
Another thing.
Real quick, I had enough running, but when you run and don't throw punches, that's even worse.
Exactly.
But even then,
I only gave Broner. Yeah, go ahead, Bucho.
No, I was going to say just because you throw punches while you're backing up doesn't mean you're still outboxing the other guy, though. Because you're still backing up, though. In my opinion, then you get into like a ring generalship, right? And you can make an argument.
What would happen if a guy's just slinging a punch in a street fight, backing up? What would happen? If the guy he's fighting has punching power and is aggressive by nature? What will happen to the guy that
he get run the fuck over?
That's right. Okay, that's just natural. It's just I love these boxing experts, these world breakers, and this fucking other dude Kenny, whatever. Yeah, no. Listen. I heard this shit. It was bullshit. These guys are not. Me too. They claim they're from the hood and they're tough and all that. No, listen.
They came here.
The natural law. You should know the natural law of fighting. There's the alpha male and there's the beta male. The beta male, you spot them real quick. If let's say they're both the same size and everything, height, body size, and everything, you'll notice what the beta male's doing. He's fighting nervous. He's backing up. Okay.
Now, when you used to fight in Madison Square Garden, in the stands against fellow boxing audience, were you the one coming forward or?
That was a counter punch. What I hit that guy with.
Okay, so then you were the beta then.
Right, because I was the alpha male. What happened was this guy came with false bravado, a beta male. And
you let him think you were beta, and then you catch him.
Then I caught him exactly. So number one, I knew he was a bitch because he wore his pants too low. Like I know he's a bitch. He's can I say it? A BAN. All right.
Oh.
You know what that means, right? So this slick talking, and he's one of my people. He was Puerto Rican, I think. I don't know what he was, but this slick talking, clown thought that was going to intimidate me, and I took his head off.
Hey, Recognize, didn't they used to call you in Brooklyn, in New York, actually, didn't they used to call you the king of row 17? That was the row you were always sitting in to watch the fights in the Madison Square Garden?
Row 17, yeah, that was me.
By the way, can I just tell you, I've never, we've been doing this show for about a year and a half. I've never actually told you, because you've been listening to my opinion and Bucho's and everybody's, but I never actually told you something to back up my opinion, something about myself. I was born in Mexico. I'm 52 years old. I've hung around with some of the best boxers, some of the best mentors. You know, I've been tutored by the best, and I went to high school in Guadalajara, and Bucho, you know where I'm going with this, right?
Wait, so that would make you an immigrant, BDA?
I am an immigrant, yeah.
You one of those border crossers?
Well, hold on a second. I crossed the border and I did it fast, so technically it wasn't illegal because it was too fast.
BDA, we all know. I mean, there was no evidence, but we all know that you guys are French. You and Bucho.
First of all, I'm transracial. We've already established that a long time ago. I'm half black, half Japanese now. Oh, and a little bit of Jewish. What's that?
I'm transracial too.
There you go.
I'm colorless.
Hey, hello. Wait. My name is Bucho. I'm a savvy businessman. I've been in the sport for about 30 years.
Where'd you go to high school? Where'd you go to high school?
Oh yeah, hey Bucho, you know what I was gonna say about those guys that when they came here promoting themselves, talking about their resume and everything, they sound like con artists. You know, when you got like these people in the street that try to and they want you to become their friends, but in the end they'll try to fuck your girl.
I like Gonzalo. It just all comes from the heart with Gonzalo, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's true though. They're frauds, man.
It seems like
no, Gonzalo's right. These guys are frauds, man. Trying to sell me. Like, don't talk to me, bro. Like, seriously, go talk to I feel insulted. I'll probably smack you in your face. Go talk to these little punk ass bitches that don't know nothing and that will listen to you and tell me that some bitch running around is winning the fight. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
It's so did I see what they did?
Like, seriously, I would want to.
He did it for the hood, bro. He did it for the hood.
Like the hood should be.
That guy's a fraud too. Broner's a fraud too.
Of course he is.
Is Broner even from the hood?
No, just because you know a few slimy, grimy motherfuckers, that doesn't mean you're from the hood.
They wouldn't care.
Decent education, lives in a house with TV. He's not a thug, man.
Hey, who's a bigger?
They sold him weed, man. He was like the white boys when you hook him up with the weed, man.
Yeah, that's
Broner lived in this fancy house, and they dropped off his, dime bag and shit.
Man.
Who's a bigger scumbag?
What do you guys think about the scorecards? Weren't they kind of close? 116.
Yeah,
it's a PBC scorecard. I don't have a problem.
You know what it was? It was Moretti. It was Moretti, Feldman, and Cheatham.
Oh, Cheatham.
That's the guy. That's his name, Cheatham.
Very apropos.
I got
Very apropos.
No way.
You're joking.
That was hilarious.
There's a judge called "Fuck You Up the Ass" too. I think I heard about. I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
This sounds Chinese though.
Hey, don't go after the Chinese, man. Come on.
You're being serious.
Hey, I saw. Yeah, I'm being serious. There's a. And did anybody see that video of the Chinese how they eat dogs in that festival? That festival they do every year. I was watching those. Somebody showed me a video, and I'm like thinking, man, I don't want to watch this fucking shit. What are you doing?
Donkeys, bro. It's donkeys, monkeys, and bats.
In China?
I got a dog.
Chinese market?
What does monkey taste like?
I don't know, but like... Probably.
Like human.
Like human? Well, let's ask John Gonzalez. What does human taste like?
Yeah, fuck.
Pig.
Better than anything. Better than anything you ever.
Wait. Hey guys.
Jeez,
let John explain what he means by that.
Oh man, no, let's not, man, please.
Hey, what happened with Badou Jack, man?
Oh yeah, let's talk about Badou Jack.
Because I think somebody had him in like a top 3 pound for pound list in his pound for pound list. Remember?
Oh come on.
Nasty cut, man. All right.
Badou.
Yeah.
Bucho, send me a picture.
That's the kind of cut you get when you call yourself Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Marcus Browne looks like he had a chainsaw during that fight. That cut, man. Jesus.
Like right on his head.
It looks like one of John Gonzalez's victims.
Yeah. That's what his nickname is, no? Jack the Ripper. Badou Jack.
Yeah, that was Jack the Ripper, man. I mean,
it looked like somebody cut his like with a knife or a razor blade or something.
Was that
It looked like he had.
Hold on. One at a time.
It looked like he had a vagina on his head.
Go ahead.
That's why.
I was just going to ask. Was that?
I'm surprised Broner.
Hold on. Right, Cameron, go ahead. He hasn't talked.
No, I was going to say. I was going to ask. Was that fight close? Or
No.
was it competitive? Or
No.
because I had doubts about Marcus Browne before this fight.
I wasn't really scoring that fight, but it looked like Browne clearly won that fight to me. That's what it looked like.
He clearly won, but he was tying him up a lot.
Yeah, he was tying him up.
That means Marcus Browne is, could get a title shot next because Badou Jack's legit. So
I can't believe they didn't throw the fucking towel in. Come on now.
Hey, listen.
That white boy in Badou's corner.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, he looked like he was wearing a mask. He was wearing a mask made out of blood.
But hold on a second. It was just a little blood, man.
Come on now.
It wasn't really.
Wouldn't that just be a no contest? Or like a tech?
Oh shit! Everybody dropped off. Jeez, Louise.
Except me and you.
Yeah, Cameron. I'm gonna put up a picture because I don't. Did you see pictures of the?
Yeah, I watched highlights of the fight.
Okay. All right, because I'm trying to get Butcher to get me a GIF, but he can't find one. Actually, you know what? Now that I remember the cut. Yeah, okay, he just sent me the picture. Yeah, they should have stopped the fight. That's true. That is true, because that's the type of thing that could. It's probably gonna open up again. The fucking scar tissue in the next. If he fights again, it's probably gonna open up easier the next time. And maybe if they would have stopped the fight earlier, they could have done something better with it. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, that's a bad cut. It's one of the worst cuts I've seen.
That cut was like pulsing. It was disgusting, man.
Yeah, it was pulsating. Ugh.
Yeah, pulsating. Yeah, fuck, it's gross, man.
Did he have like 24 stitches in it? No, something like
that. Yeah, I saw the picture. Yeah, he got a lot of stitches on that thing, man. He's gonna have a scar for sure, no?
Yeah, man. The thing is, like BDA just said, like when he's next fighting, that shit's gonna cut up easy again. There's a lot of scar tissue on that.
Oh,
right through, man.
The worst was
maybe he's shot anyways, right? I mean, he just looked old, man.
There's been a lot of fights, man. Any like top level, and the Gale fight was quite grueling. Stevenson fight was quite I thought Jack didn't look great in the Stevenson fight, to be honest with you. I thought, no, he's not shot, but if he lost last night, I mean, I didn't think Browne was any good, but obviously he is.
Yeah, he couldn't cut the distance properly. Again, you got to remember, Jack's like, what, 35 years old? And he's fighting a guy that's 33 or 32. I mean, makes a difference those short years, I suppose. And he didn't look sharp. And then the cut didn't help either. That fucking nasty gash he had on his forehead. But it does raise a point of where does Marcus Browne go from here? Because
title shot, man. It's got to be a title shot, though.
Okay, now, is Gvozdyk with Top Rank at this moment?
No, do you know, I think I'd like to see Beterbiev, Marcus Browne. I think that'd be a good fight.
Now, who would you pick in that one?
Marcus Browne, maybe. And I'm a massive Beterbiev fan. Everyone knows podcast knows, but I just think Beterbiev's been so inactive, and he doesn't look great in his last few fights. He's there to be hit. I think Marcus Browne. I think Beterbiev would have a hard time, nail him into range. I think Marcus Browne would be a problem for him.
Hey, by the way, yeah, that's what the way I sort of see the fight going too.
He's a good body puncher too.
Yeah, he was digging some good uppercuts to the body. But is he just essentially at this point like a Chad Dawson? You know what I mean? Like
Marcus Browne?
Yeah.
No.
No,
he's undefeated. He's undefeated. He's undefeated, and he hasn't got the right exposure. He hasn't really been given the good fights. So if he's gonna get the good fights, he's gonna take opportunity of that.
Overhand in the chat says Marcus Browne is now mandatory for Gvozdyk. Well, if that's true, then that's a good fight.
That's what he's
with Top Rank.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's with Top Rank. Browne is with the PBC, I guess, and Bivol is now with the Matchroom. And
Beterbiev's on ESPN, and he was the Zone, yeah.
Yeah, and Gvozdyk has shown the desire to fight outside of Top Rank, because I mean he did fight Stevenson in his last fight, so maybe he would be willing to fight Marcus Browne. I suppose that the fight he wants is against Bivol, though. I don't know if he's willing to fight Marcus Browne at this moment. But what happened to Badou Jack, by the way? Because I mean, he is a good fighter, but it just seems like he's the almost has been. You know what I mean? Like every time he steps up, he comes short. He came short against Gale. Against Bute, he should have gotten the win, but you know what happened there with the fucking PEDs. Who else did he draw against?
He drew it against
Stevenson.
James DeGale.
James
DeGale mentioned him.
Stevenson.
He beat Groves.
Barely beat Groves.
Yeah, barely beat
knockdown.
Groves. Badou Jack is an overachiever, I feel. For the way he is.
I think he would have stepped it up on the second half of this fight also, but with that cut and his face looking like that, all covered in blood, he had a hard time doing that. And he was also saying, Marcus Browne, I ain't taking no chances. I ain't taking no chances in his corners. So yeah, he was pressing. Go ahead, recognize.
No, I was gonna say, Gonzalo, it looked to me that when it came to Marcus Browne and that fucking headbutt, I thought it was a little intentional at first. I gotta look back at it because I'm watching it. I'm watching it while it's happening. But I felt like when he would come grab, he was coming to grab with his fucking head leading out.
Well, you had a left-hander against a right-hander, right? Well,
yeah.
Marcus Browne is left-handed.
Yep, that's naturally a problem. Yep.
Yeah.
In the chat, just gonna read some quick comments from the chat so they don't start revolting. Gangsta003 says Badou Jack is just an overrated fraud. Virtuoso says that Jack isn't fit to compete at light heavyweight. He looked slow against his last two opponents, not cutting off the ring and low punch output. Carl, the great Carl, he permanently rearranged DeGale's face, but didn't get the decision.
There's someone I need to watch someone's channel after last night's fight. Actually, I need to check out his video up.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he's wearing clothes this time when he's broadcasting. Listen, I wanted to ask a question too about, because Recognize said that thing about the headbutt being a little intentional. I laughed when I was watching the interview with Jim the Puritan Gray, and he said that Marcus Browne said, hey, listen, I told Tony Weeks that he was going to come in with the head all the time, and I warned him, and he came in with the head, and that's what you get. And then Jim Gray goes, oh, you don't mean that. As if a fucking headbutt, an accidental headbutt is the worst thing in the world. Jim Gray needs to get a grip, man, because this guy's fucking insane. I tell you, he creeps me the fuck out with his dead cold eyes and his pale skin. This guy needs to get the fuck out of the ring. And I do appreciate when he goes after fighters. Like when he told Broner, he was basically lecturing him. Like, if we're not going to have an interview if this isn't civilized. But other times, man, I guess a creep.
Don't touch his microphone.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, we'll go toe to toe.
Hey, BDA.
That's his wife.
BDA, one of the announcers during the Marcus Browne fight, he said, like Recognize says in today's cupcake era, you can't really say things that are going to get you in trouble. One of the broadcasters, I don't know his name, the one that was announcing the fight, said he didn't necessarily put him on Queer Street. Is that a homophobic phrase?
Oh,
he didn't necessarily put him on Queer Street.
It is now.
I don't know if somebody didn't catch that or if they're gonna make a big fuss about it, but he did say, and it kind of goes back to like the old school announcer.
Oh man, they're gonna shut down Showtime. That's it for Showtime.
I mean, listen, look. Queer Street is not like saying Fag Street, right? Like had he said, that'd have been different.
Exactly. No, it's a good point. Listen. First of all, if you've never been lonely and taken a walk down Queer Street every once in a while, then you haven't really been.
Hold
By the way, BDA, where the hell you been?
Hell, what the hell? Come on, man. This is Baltimore. You can get sucked off for 5 hours.
Well, hold on a second.
I am a victim of masculinity. I am a victim of masculinity.
Baltimore next weekend.
Yeah, maybe where you come from.
Good, man. Hit me up.
If you need to pay to get your dick sucked, you need to sort your fucking life out.
Clear, boy.
But I was watching your video. I was watching your video on Mike McCallum, the body snatch.
That's a big cock, man.
Sorry. So what were you saying, Gonzalo? Sorry.
I was watching your video on BDA on the body snatcher.
Ah, yes.
And when I was watching Marcus Browne, I was like, man, he's digging in them shots like the body snatcher, like Mike McCallum. He was putting in some good work to the body with both hands. With the right and the left.
It's a bit of a lost art going to the body. Again, it's because it's a risk.
It is, bro. That's why it was nice seeing Canelo do that to that fucking punching bag. That was nice.
Yeah, that poor punching bag. Leave that guy alone. And by the way, Recognize, is it creepy how shriveled up Lou Duval is getting every fight he's in the corner?
Yeah, what the hell's going on with him?
That's gotta be crack, right? Like after he retired, he must have gone on crack or something.
I hope not, man.
I'll answer that for you.
Go ahead.
Uh,
please.
Yeah, that's That's definitely crack. Cocaine, maybe. I'm thinking cocaine because he's kind of like an older head.
Yeah, right. Why would he
like
be,
some of them are real religious about powder.
Mm-hmm.
If he was on crack, he'd just disappear, teeth missing. He'd be stealing shit while the fucking, you know,
he'd be stealing shit in the middle of the fight.
Right? Yeah. He'd dip off and come back real quick.
Right. Think about this. I'm gonna reenact a fighter getting instructions from a crackhead. He goes back to the corner. End of round 3.
Hey, by the way, Boxing Junkie, you're from Baltimore, right?
Say something.
Well, hold on. Just
yes, I am.
Are they still selling that pandemic? Get the pandemic, yo. Get the pandemic. Oh no, what do they call it? Plymouth Rock. That was in The Wire, right?
Girl and boy.
Yeah. Stringer Bell. Have you ever seen Stringer Bell walking down the street?
Boy, girls cocaine, boys heroin.
Oh, that's somebody that knows his fucking stuff right there, man.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, recognize. What were you gonna say?
Totally lost my train of thought.
Oh, sorry, man.
Hey, BDA.
Yes.
But to your point on the Broner fight, I think literally Broner, when he watches the fight, he'll still believe that he won.
You think so?
Suffers from the Canelo syndrome. Suffers from the Canelo syndrome from the first fight. But this guy's worse.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm watching the fight as we speak. I'm currently in the 7th round. I ain't got Broner around yet.
Hey, Cameron, you always got the inside scoop on everything. Are you aware of why Badou Jack left, or vice versa, Eddie Mustafa Muhammad?
Left?
No, man, I've not heard anything about that.
Because he used to be with Muhammad, and then I heard through the grapevine that apparently Muhammad was talking shit about him. So I don't know if they had a bit of a falling out, and that's why Badou Jack is with...
Muhammad tells his side of the story on the Mayweather channel. If you want to go scroll through 30,000 videos of that bullshit.
Oh, man.
I think go through 30,000 Mayweather videos.
I want to that Lou DeVal, man. How can he get how can that happen to him like that? Lou DeVal's got to be maybe 48, 49, maybe 50 at most.
I tell you, he's been on something,
could be
man.
80 on that shit though. You never know. A 20-year-old looks like a 60-year-old.
That's true. I know.
Well, then again, he's Puerto Rican,
Who's
right?
that guy talking? Who's that guy talking on the Hangouts? Is he a real cowboy?
John Gonzalez.
Oh, you talking about Gonzalez?
Yeah. No, he's the one who murders innocent women.
The rapist.
No, I think that's apology. That's apology.
God,
no, apologies doesn't work.
Cowboy.
I don't see anybody with a cowboy hat.
Oh, you see the cowboy
in the
hat
back. In the back, in the background.
Let me click on John Gonzalez. Let me have a look at this guy. No, I've got a cowboy.
Whoa, cowboy.
That sounded gay.
Yeah, it did.
More of the accent.
Let me have
Gonzalez, man. That's not a cowboy hat. That's what? That's a...
No, in the background, in the background, he's gonna go get it. You see what you did to the guy? You made him get up from the fucking couch. You never make a Mexican get up.
That's a gaucho hat. That's not a cowboy hat.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's not a cowboy hat.
Precise bringing the heat, man.
You know what? But when John Gonzalez got from his seat, I thought he was going to start stripping or something. I was like,
no, Cameron, I think that's what you wanted, you freak.
Do you not get this weekend?
Apology, you're fucking... Yeah, back in the school days, people used to be called frigid. That's what you are, mate. You're MGTOW and everything.
Did you not get pussed this weekend? Why are you so sexual today?
All right, first of all, hold on a second. Cameron.
I've not said anything sexual.
You never make a Mexican get off the couch. That's number one, all right?
Like 2 seconds ago.
What, me asking, talking about fucking John Gonzalez stripping?
No, forget the stripping. Listen, I want to get back to fucking boxing. You motherfuckers always take this podcast to the basest level, man. The most basic.
It's always a
we can bring it back. BDA, you said you weren't gonna swear. BDA, you said you were gonna swear anymore.
Well, you made me swear. What do you think about that?
BDA, I'm glad you're back, BDA, because you keep things in order. You know what I mean? When Bucho's run this shit last night, I was getting slaughtered every fucking minute of this show. Glad you're back.
BDA, think about it. Boxing,
BDA has
half naked. Anyway.
BDA has a cold. He has a cold like Pacquiao.
What's up with that cold? It doesn't make sense. Like, how do you get it like right after the fight? Like, Was it an excuse for something?
No,
it's from Broner's dirty sweat and jeans that he got from the filthy area that he used to live in, where everybody was smoking crack and snorting cocaine and doing heroin. He got hepatitis A, B, C, Z, Q, R, S, T, U, V.
Don't forget eating. Don't forget eating ass.
Yeah. Like, if you think
I think it was legitimate.
Just wait till you see
legitimate, Bucho, buddy.
Yeah.
I think it was legitimate, but he was exaggerating a little bit on cameras.
Yeah.
So they could say, "Oh, look, me and Pacquiao, I got a cold," you know. But it was real. But he was just exaggerating a little bit, being a little bit dramatic.
BDA, just to let people know that BDA disavows those comments. He doesn't agree with it. What Reverse was just saying. Okay, continue. Go.
John 1:9. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just and will forgive us our sins and purify us all from unrighteousness. All right? That's number one.
If I confess my sins,
oh, the Lord kicked everybody off the fucking hangout again.
Kicked off all the demons. You know.
Do you know what? I've been on this podcast for a year, and every time people get kicked out, to this day, I've still not been one of those people.
Well, keep taking clothing off, and we're gonna make that happen for you one of these days. All right? But
John, what are you laughing at, man? Go back to murdering innocent women.
That's the worst thing about John Gonzalez is apparently he works in some capacity at the post office, which is the most stereotypical profession for a serial killer. The fucking post office. Come on, man.
Yeah, he's gotta go postal, as they say, no?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta change jobs, man.
It's very, very quiet in John Gonzalez's place.
John Gonzalez, one thing about he has good taste in women. I respect that.
How do you know that?
He
posted some pictures, man. Yeah.
You're not paying attention.
Oh, right. So when I post pictures of mine, it's all fucking, you're going for the fucking HIV woman. It's John Gonzalez. Like, he's got good taste in women. But no, with me, it's like, no, she's got HIV. She's got fucking herpes.
Hey, wait a minute. Apology. You're into women?
Is he fuck? He sticks out the gym for 24/7 with all these fucking sweaty blokes.
Exactly.
Speaking of women, have you guys seen Badou Jack's wife?
No. Where can I find some pics of her?
She's a fine white chick.
Really?
Fine white chick.
No kidding.
Yeah, fucking Punisher in the chat. I'll say Punisher in the chat. He's not when he says about HIV. That guy's a funny motherfucker.
Well, hold on.
He's from Switzerland, isn't he? Badou Jack from Switzerland?
Yeah. Sweden.
Yeah.
Okay, Sweden.
Oh, he's American.
Wait a minute. His wife looks like Slavic or something. Hold on, let me put a picture up here.
Swedish?
She doesn't look... Well, when I think Swedish, I think the stereotypical blonde woman. This one looks like she's got Slavic features. Bucho, aren't there a lot of Slavs in Sweden?
She is fit, man.
Oh, yeah.
She is fucking tasty.
God,
Badou
this show
Jack.
is racist.
I mean, that's what they all say.
Call it out.
Oh, fucking James DeGale's sister, man. Oof. I'd go for that.
I think Jack's wife has her beat.
Do you remember Floyd Mayweather was trying to get DeGale because he fancied...
I would have done the same thing, man. I would have done the same thing. I would have actually locked her.
Her to Timothy Bradley's wife, please.
Okay, come on, listen. No, we're trying to get Timothy Bradley on the show.
Nonito Donair's wife's pretty tasty. I'll give him that. She's not bad.
Oh, I love Asians.
Oh, if you're into Yoko Ono lookalikes.
This is the first time I've heard an apology actually talk positive about a woman. You know.
Yeah, he's making progress.
Because he's getting laid now. He's getting laid. That's why.
Hey, by the way, the guy that beat Roshi Warren last night, the Moroccan guy, was anybody else a little afraid that his friends were going to pull out machetes?
Wait, let BDA finish. Go ahead.
Well, was anybody else a little apprehensive when his friends jumped into the ring after the fight that maybe they were going to pull off some machetes? And, you know, the white girls there around.
He's going to go up.
We're taking over.
I thought something was going to explode.
Where was the fight at?
I thought
where was the fight at?
Decapitated.
MGM.
Pacquiao won the call, man. I can't believe Roshi Warren lost. Shit.
I can. Roshi Warren's a bum.
No punching power.
Last 3 in a row.
Who did Roshi Warren beat to win the? Was it Payano?
I think after he lost or drew to him, he got a rematch and he won.
Yeah, it was Payano, wasn't it?
And he beat Mike Williams. Yeah. He beat Mike Williams Arroyo, which is a pretty decent win.
Yeah, that's a solid win. That's what I'm talking about.
It was McJoe Arroyo.
Yeah, sorry, Mike Joe. Yeah, thank you, Mike Joe. What the fuck? Fucking names. But listen.
Williams Arroyo was the one that Gonzalez beat, wasn't it?
Was that?
No, it was his twin brother. It was the other one.
Yeah, the other one, the one with the...
Basically, they're both shite. They're both shite, basically.
Listen, the one that's not named after a hamburger. But listen, can we talk about fucking Rashid Warren's lack of power? Because this is what we talk about on this show. Listen, it goes back to the Mayweather, the Broner technique of running away. Warren was standing his ground sometimes. But the fucking guy kept pulling back with his head back. And his trainer told him, stop fucking doing it. Oh, he wouldn't do it because he's used to doing it against, he's the faster fighter usually. And then the fact that he doesn't really put mustard in his shots. This ain't the amateurs anymore, man. I mean, I know I'm being overly critical here. I'm not a professional boxer, so who am I to be saying these things? But if you want to win a fight and you want to hurt the other guy, maybe you should think about, I don't know, loading up every once in a while and putting some mustard in your shots. What do you guys think?
It's technique, yeah.
Basically,
sounds like Broner.
That's why they call him Baby Pitt, because he can't punch.
I mean,
it's like being tapped by. It's like being tapped by a toddler.
Would surprise. I was actually gonna say that I wouldn't mind taking a punch from him in the face. You know what I mean? Like for $1 million, I could take that fucking punch. I mean, obviously not, but it looked like that way a little bit. I mean, this fucking guy wouldn't turn over his shots.
I think she's Persian.
I think it's harder said than done, because if you sit down on your punches, it means that...
Oh, jeez, come on. All right, so before I don't want to get sidetracked. I want to let Gonzalo finish what he had to say when he comes back. So let's just... was that? All right.
I'm sorry, I was thinking out loud.
Yeah, that happens with you often. Listen, recognize... Precise also said that apparently the wife of Badou Jack looks Persian. I don't know about that, but she definitely doesn't look Swedish. Like, that's not a Viking.
Yeah, she's like Persian or something, man. Yasmin, what kind of name is that? That's no Eastern European name. Yasmin, unless she's a porn star or something. I'm gonna look that up and get back to you guys.
All right, perfect. Do your research there. Precise. Where's Gonzalo?
His wife, is she good looking?
You didn't see the pictures?
Picture man? Jesus.
I mean, is she good looking? Yes or no?
Oh, yeah.
All right, nice.
Well, if you're into the whole...
What are we talking about now?
Hold on, because I want to let Gonzalo, you were saying something about the...
James DeGale's sister ain't that bad.
Yeah.
Hold on. Gonzalo was going to say something before he dropped off.
No, I was just going to say that he doesn't have that... maybe he doesn't have the ability to sit down on the shots, because if he starts sitting down on his shots, like he's not gonna be able to know how to fight that way, like.
All right,
oh no, like
who's taking a shit, man?
Who's taking? That wasn't a sound effect. That was actually somebody fucking.
That's racist.
Yo, I was thinking that, okay, so I muted myself when I fucking took a piss, and then I just unmuted when I fucking saw it.
I could actually hear the turd hitting the fucking as it went down. Like, come on, that was disgusting, man. That was disgusting.
That's gonna be a new rule. I was taking a shit on the BDA podcast.
New intro.
We can confirm in the past week, recognise that in the past week you've not only been in the shower but also took a dump on this.
Yeah.
I had a bit of rose yesterday.
That's the icing on the cake, man.
Oh man, listen. This show.
Somebody on the comment section was like, "Yo, recognize these mental therapy because." He almost killed somebody on a parking space. Yesterday. People must think like, yo, this guy recognizes a horrible panelist.
Didn't you say that you one-shotted a guy and knocked him unconscious because he bumped into you?
Yeah, you savage.
No, I never did that. I was lying. I was lying about
that. You said that after you said it was like a week or so after you graduated from your Male University. You got your associate's degree or your 1.5 associate's degree.
I got a bachelor's degree. Yeah.
He got a degree on. He got a degree on how to make grilled cheese off the radiator.
Well, what's
in fucking prison?
What's 18?
How to use a microwave?
What do you get? Reverse 18 months from a university.
That's like a month in like 6 months, right?
Yeah.
So it's 1.5 of an associate's degree.
Okay, so I got my 1.5. Yeah.
Hey, recognize. Let me ask you something interesting. Recognize do you wipe standing up or do you sit down and wipe it?
Wait, how do you get your hand underneath like the area between the ass and the seat?
In my 23 years of living, I've always sat down to wipe my ass, and that's why I've never stood up.
There you go. See, that's what I'm talking about.
All I say is that I wash my hands before I touch my dick anytime.
yeah, that's true. You should do that, man.
Hey, if you're in Morocco, that question doesn't apply because no toilet paper, according to Precise. No toilet paper over there.
BDA.
Yes.
Oh fuck! I forgot about that.
I used to read the Ring magazine before a few years ago. Like, it's not that good anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I had been reading it since like the early 2000s, and the name came into my mind. I was stoned one day, and the name came into my mind. Slapsy Maxi Rosenblum.
Oh yeah.
I was like, holy shit, who is this guy? Slapsy Maxi Rosenblum, and I looked him up online. I must have remembered from when I used to read the Ring magazine. He was a fighter with 299 fights with only 16 knockouts.
16? Knockouts?
Yeah, there he was in in black and white. The picture on the.
What's his name again?
Slapsy Maxi Rosenblum. And these guys used to be famous because they used to come out in the movies.
Right.
Like him and Max Bear.
Can I say something? That
sounds. Let him finish. Let him finish. Go ahead, Gonzalo.
No, I think he's listed as 222 fights, but when I read a little bit of his bio, it actually says 299. And you know what? The interesting part, he was really actually the champion, the light heavyweight champion, and many consider him as an all-time great. And no punching power.
Yeah.
When you say Slapsy Maxi, that's the dude's name?
That's his nickname, yeah.
That sounds like a hooker
Slapsy
with Down
Maxi
syndrome.
Oh, he stepped all over his fucking joke, man. Come on.
That sounds like a hooker with Down syndrome.
Oh man.
Slapsy Wapsy.
What type of fucking show is this, man? I gotta tell you, I didn't come back from Jerusalem to deal with this type of content. Let me tell you.
That's what you were.
Everybody in chat is just like, what the fuck?
But you know what? To Gonzalo's
typical BDA.
I know. To Gonzalo's point about not being able, if you want to be an all-time great and not have punching power, you have to have sublime defensive skills while at the same time letting your hands go. Because if you can't punch and you try to be a pot-shotting Mayweather type fighter, you're not gonna get very far. I mean, look at fucking Paulie Malignaggi. He had to throw punches in bunches because he couldn't punch worth a lick.
Nicolino.
He still beat Cronin, though.
Laszlo Papp.
Locha was really good, man.
Yeah, Loca.
He had like 19 knockouts, so 20 knockouts with 130 fights.
Something like that, yeah. I mean,
like that, yeah.
To be fair, there is a lot of fighters out there that can't punch for shit, but do have success. You need to watch women's boxing.
yeah. Fucking women's boxing. I'm sorry, man, but they can't.
I can never watch that. Sorry.
Hey, has Katie Taylor stopped a fighter yet?
Yeah, she has, I think.
If they were to fight like in thongs and they were like really good looking, I'll watch it.
Like, would you watch?
Have you seen the interview where Clarissa Shields admits that she likes Anthony Joshua?
Shocked she goes for a black guy. That woman is so racist, man, honestly.
Yeah, on Twitter, have you guys seen her?
I don't like
her.
Oh,
she blocked me on Twitter.
Honestly,
she blocked me on Twitter for calling her a racist.
Clarissa Shields.
The fuck are you doing?
Like
I was just waiting for.
I consider that like Clarissa Shields is the type of girl that could come up to me and say, "You're definitely not my type," and I'll say, "Thank God."
If I was AJ,
geez, what's going on? Everybody's dropping off every 5 minutes, man.
Clarissa Shields would go with me if I spent every day in a fucking sunbed for a year. Then she'd fucking go for me.
Now wait a minute. I don't like where this is fucking going, man. You gotta get a grip there, Cameron. You gotta get a grip. Number one. Number two.
If you did that, Cameron would start looking like Anthony Joshua.
That's what I'm saying. I have to be, you know, sort of like half fucking black or full black if she's gonna go for me. Because she's that fucking racist, so.
First of all,
Clarissa Shields?
Yeah, I just was waiting for her to say that.
I don't consider girls or guys who like to stick to their own races. I think that's natural. But when they talk shit all the time, that's when I can see where somebody could say, this.
The one that do you not recognise? The one that got me the worst about Clarissa Shields is she basically said "good on ya" to Andre Durrell's uncle when he sucker punched Uzcategui.
I was just waiting for her to say that Broner won. I was waiting for her to say that Broner won.
She probably did.
I'd love to see her get ironed out in the middle of the ring. I'd love to see her get ironed out in the middle of the ring unconscious. I would love to watch that.
You know why? Because she's probably gotten hit by guys like that in the streets. You know, when she starts mouthing off.
Good.
And she probably likes it because that's what Daddy did to her when she was growing up.
Here's the way I look at it. Whenever I see Clarissa Shields, I say, I'm glad that they are making genders more equal by allowing a man to compete in female boxing.
Clarissa Shields.
I saw one comment saying that she looks like Oldie Harrison.
They should release James. What they should do is they should release James Butler from prison and put her in a fucking room with him for a month.
Oh,
I'm not a big UFC fan, but I was watching that Amanda Nunes, the girl that knocked out Rousey and Cyborg. She can really punch. I was wondering if any of you guys know how would she fare in boxing, or is it more because of the gloves, or does she really have good punching power?
She has. Yeah, she has good instincts. I mean, she knows. Like there were when
too manly looking. That's all I know.
She has good distance.
That exchange. Oops, sorry.
From
Listen.
experience, it's kind of hard to tie the two together because your stand-up game is different because there's a potential that you can be taken down by the opponent.
Exactly. Yeah.
Look, but just on pure punching power alone, because I haven't seen too many women with punching power. Is it more because of the gloves, or does this woman? I'm not saying that she would ever do the transition, but if you had somebody like her with that kind of power in her hands, or is it more because of the gloves?
It's the gloves.
So who she's fighting, maybe I don't know.
But listen,
Lara would knock her the fuck out, man.
Yeah, because the thing is this: when you have these MMA fighters and they look good. They look good with the striking, but in order to be able to compete in boxing, you have to have that extra snap in your shots. You saw McGregor. McGregor had snap for about 2.5 rounds, and after that, it was just tap here, tap. Like it's a different type of snap that they have. Professional boxers, that's all they do: punch. These fucking people at MMA, they're not as good with their hands. So I love
watching women's MMA. Women's MMA is the real good because you actually have decent women in that. You know, I mean, I like watching that.
I like watching that too. I like watching one woman choke another one.
Yeah, especially when you got a woman taking Misha Tate's back and her tits are in the air. You know,
that never happened.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Like when it was like the really. I love when the straight up dykes used to beat up on the really good looking ones.
Oh my God. That's your thing.
I can watch women fight MMA or boxing.
Women's MMA arouses me. Let's be real.
Well, you're sick, man.
I think it's you. I'm not surprised at Cameron.
Hey, by the way, Gonzalo, you were talking about Ring Magazine. Do you know where you can buy back issues of Ring Magazine? Because I've tried eBay. They don't have that wide. Like their selection is usually from the 70s and 80s. I'm looking for some fucking Ring Magazine from late 90s to early 2000s. Do you know where you can buy them?
Yeah. No, I've seen there's coupons on the actual Ring Magazine that you can order the back issues. There's a coupon which gives you all the information inside the Ring Magazine.
I don't know if they still have them.
Should the Ring Magazine should have all these copies now?
Yeah, the Ring Magazine. There's a coupon you can order, and they have the ones that are available.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if they have that. After De La Hoya took over, I don't know if they have them anymore. Because I haven't fucking bought.
Still buying it. Huh?
That's right. I used to buy them all the time. Now I think I got 2 issues post 2011.
You don't want to feed De La Hoya's fishnet and cocaine habits.
He was actually on the cover with that picture. Now listen, what was I going to talk about? Okay, we talked about Raushi Warren. We talked about Badou Jack losing. Talk about Pacquiao.
Linares. Well, you didn't give us your thoughts on Linares.
Oh yeah, well Linares. Listen, fucking Linares. He was fighting a huge, fucking kind of looked huge, man. In there,
dude was enormous.
Yeah. He looked like he ate some of that Canelo meat or something. But
I thought he was Mongia when I saw him.
What app was that on?
That was on the Zone.
The Zone. Yeah.
The Zone. That
was on the Andrade undercard, I think.
Yeah.
The biggest wins in what's his name, Pablo Cesar Cano before this fight was Ashley Theopain and Mauricio Herrera. I mean, he got put in there tough when he was younger with Morales, and he incurred a few losses. But he's 29. Some of these fighters grew up, getting these tough fights, and at 29 years old, they're not shot. And I think they're kind of underrated because they have these losses, and he's kind of stepping into his own, kind of like maybe like Orlando Salido when he was with already 10 losses, like Mickey Roman. These fighters are tough because they get a lot of good sparring done in Tijuana.
You're exactly. Yeah, they start off young, they put him in there against anybody, and then it's either you crumble or you get better.
Linares is also very overrated. I've always said that.
Well, it depends on what you mean. I mean, every time he loses by knockout.
His resume's gash. I think his resume's gash, man. What one good
win
on his resume?
Okay, you got to explain what gash is.
Shite, basically.
All right. Why don't you speak English every once in a while, Cameron? Come on.
Well, what's his best win? What's his best win? Off the top of your head.
Knocking down Lomachenko in that 6th round or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously he's not.
De La Hoya sure thought so.
Listen, obviously he's not a top 10 pound for pound guy, Linares, but he's pretty decent, man. I mean, he's got quick hands, good skills.
He's a good fighter, but I just think he's been overrated.
He has no endurance.
What's his nickname? El Niño de Oro, the golden child. Isn't like all De La Hoya's fighters got something to do with the golden goose, the golden child, the
golden goose.
Wasn't that Danny Jacobs' nickname when he first came out?
Yeah, golden child.
And by the way,
he was with Golden Boy, I think.
What was everybody remember the
child?
You guys heard this fucking interview between
golden fishnets.
Yeah, cancer was gold. They had to take it out.
You guys heard
you need a gavel, man.
A gavel? Oh fuck! You motherfuckers! You always take it where I don't want to go, man. With this fucking podcast. By the way, did you hear the behind the scenes leaked audio between De La Hoya and Ryan Garcia when De La Hoya offered him a contract?
No.
Yeah, when De La Hoya offered him a contract.
Play it.
I've already. Well, hold on. I already played it. I've already played it before. I don't know why you guys are so hung up.
So please play
it again. I never heard it.
All right.
So there's 2 ways this could go, Precious. Kick or kiss. They both in the same. With my dick up your ass.
All right.
I mean, I think that's a little too harsh, man.
I thought you were serious. I thought you were going to be serious about it.
Cameron thought I was going to be serious.
I thought you were actually going to play some serious fucking behind the scenes footage.
You're a sweet kid. You're a sweet kid. Let me tell you that much right now. Very naive. Very naive. But
hey, let
poor
me
summer
get an
child.
opinion on
this is our little secret.
Go ahead.
I want to know.
You're underwater.
Yeah, did we lose Junkie there?
Boxing Junkie, we can't hear you, man.
Yo, Mike. There we go.
No, he's still gone.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
The snack facility. And Devin Haney being there, that rat that's in there.
The next Mayweather.
Yeah, what do you think about fighters go?
For fuck's sake.
What's going on with that?
Bucho, you're the technician. You gotta be on top of this, man.
It's because it is because too many people in the hangout, right?
You think so?
Yeah, I mean every time a lot of people in the hangout, it seems to happen. So.
It's just you have to have your own identity. I mean, you can't go saying that you're gonna be the next Mayweather and this and that because fighters don't always want to see somebody trying to be somebody else. And in the end, it's not going to work out for you because we're all different. You know, we all have different skills.
Exactly. Yeah, Boxing Junkie, what were you going to say? I think you were going to finish your thoughts on that.
Just the fact that, you know, these fighters go to the snack facility. Danny Jacobs, for instance. Look at a photo of Danny Jacobs when he started boxing. Okay?
Uh-huh.
When he was about 23, let's say. And look at Danny Jacobs now.
Oh, he's souped up now.
Then you got Willie Monroe that tested positive out of the snack facility. What the hell kind of snack are they giving him?
Yeah.
That's a good fucking point. That's a good fucking point. I mean...
Mikey Garcia snacks. I'm just kidding.
And look at how he bulked up, like the Incredible Hulk.
That's all
fucking
natural.
Bill Bigsby turning the Incredible
That's
Hulk.
after, bro, that's after cancer, too.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Yeah, that's...
Right, yeah. So he was half dead.
Well, I don't know if he was half dead.
Then he's souped up, man. He's definitely souped
Right,
up.
yeah. The snack facility. Have a snack.
Hey, did you guys watch? Did you guys see Mickey Garcia in the audience? How his head looks?
Yeah,
His face looks big as fuck.
I told Bucho. That's what I told Bucho. I told Bucho that. I said, "What the fuck's up with his head?"
Well, he's always had a big head, though.
Human growth hormone.
Yeah.
What the fuck is?
But he looks like an emperor, like an Aztec emperor, you know. Like the ones with the big heads, the Aztec, you know, those Aztec statues of the Zapotecos with the big heads.
Oh yeah.
The Olmecs.
Picture like somebody he knew growing up, right? And they see him, they haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
Like, yo, Mikey, Mikey, what the fuck? Mikey, what the fuck is wrong with your head? Is it?
Someone posts screenshots. I think.
I ain't seen this. I haven't seen it either.
My new name is Mighty Mickey Mouse.
Exactly, man. This fucking guy. I mean, he's obviously bulking up for this Errol Spence fight.
You can't bulk your head up, though, can you? Like,
why not? Why not?
Yeah,
yes, human growth hormone makes your head bigger.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But if he's on that, but you can't naturally fucking just eat and make your head go bigger. So obviously,
right, no,
right, yeah.
Well, depends on what you eat, but I mean, look, listen, that fucking Mikey Garcia. I don't. He's obviously like he's with. Oh, sorry, man. Sorry, losing my fucking voice there. Sorry about that. Fucking Mikey Garcia. He's with Victor Con. Was that? Well, wait a minute. What did he say?
He's choking on Ryan Garcia.
Now wait a minute. You motherfuckers.
What he got from the crusade.
Ryan Garcia snap.
Oh, sorry. All right. I wasn't choking on cock, first of all. All right, stop it. Second of all, yeah,
just
Mikey Garcia.
Some balls.
Oh man.
Hairy ass.
Forget it. I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna ask my question. Fuck it.
Oh, fuck's sakes.
Listen. I'm not gonna
looking up the breast milk.
I'm not gonna have people talk to my BDA like that. Now go ahead.
I'm not even gonna bother asking the question. No, I was just gonna say he's hanging around with fucking Victor Conte. Obviously he has to be on something, right?
Yeah,
totally. Victor Conte would know how to get away with it.
All natural, vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good idea. He should do that. I mean, you know,
he's allowed to.
Everybody knows that vegans have the highest strength above all human beings. So if he converted to that diet, his punching power would at least triple.
Absolutely. Nobody's ever disputed that. No,
so,
reverse.
There was a sighting of a eclipse, but it was a rock orbiting Mikey's head. It was so big it actually picked up a moon.
It's a full moon over here.
Hey, isn't tonight that fucking blood moon or whatever they call it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I feel like taking a picture.
At 10 o'clock.
Why isn't John Gonzalez doing a sacrifice or something?
That's what I was going to ask, yeah.
His true comes out. That's when his true form comes out.
I think Gerald Spence is hating that Mikey Garcia is doing the snack because he called him fat, but in all actuality, he knows that he's really going to get bulked up. And he knows that he's not the only one, taking the extra stuff, if anything, if they are taking anything at all.
Well, Spence got a lot of
to put muscle.
Fat.
And to put muscle on.
Go ahead, Precise. Go ahead, Precise.
No, to put muscle on, you gotta bulk up. You gotta put some fat on too. Well, that's one way to do it.
Exactly.
So that's probably what's going on. But what do you guys think if Spence wins, like we think he will? What about Pacquiao Spence? Because it doesn't look like Mayweather's gonna happen. Nor should we care to see that fight. Honestly, I don't want to.
I think Spence.
I don't mind Pacquiao Spence. It'll be a good fight.
Spence should win. If he doesn't, like I said yesterday, he's just exposed. It has to do. Yes, it's not because Manny Pacquiao is not great. He is great. It's just that Spence is not the person you thought he was. He's supposed to be the next guy. So if he's the next guy at 27 or 28, he should be able to beat a 40-year-old legend. He should.
But the reason why I want to see that fight. The reason why I want to see that fight is because I think. Oh shit.
Carnival, Precise. Can I say something to you?
Hold on.
Let me finish.
Go ahead, Precise.
Okay.
It's because I don't imagine Spence running from Pacquiao like everybody else. So if that's going to be his last fight,
that's a good point.
If that's his last fight, I want to see like the old Pacquiao. If he gets knocked out, beat up, whatever, they'll toss the towel in, they'll save his ass. But I want to see Spence come forward and see how he handles Pacquiao. That's what I'm curious to find out. I know Pacquiao can't handle too many punches from Spence. I know that. Don't get me wrong, but how much can Spence take from Pacquiao? That's what I want to see.
Does he get busted open like everybody who tried that? I mean,
Margarito, right?
Yeah, Margarito.
It's not that Manny Pacquiao anymore.
But how do you know that?
Spence ain't no Margarito. Spence ain't no Margarito. Margarito would run Spence the fuck out that ring.
Margarito's a bomb Precise. He's an overrated Mexican bomb. He never fought anybody.
But he was huge and strong. He never fought any. Did you see
Margarito?
Did you see him and Paul Williams go to war? He was fucking killing people. Margarito was destroying people.
Listen,
nobody wanted to fight his ass.
Margarito
wanted to fight, but Margarito didn't take it.
He knocked out
Kermit Cintron.
Kermit Cintron. He fucking owned him.
Cintron was undefeated on the come up too.
It was a middleweight. Cintron was basically a middleweight.
He beat Cotto.
Beat the shit out of Miguel Cotto. Come on, he beat the shit. It don't matter, man.
Did he kill him?
Come on, man.
He killed Cotto.
He beat the shit. How many punches did he land on Cotto? I don't give a fuck what he had in his gloves. He was beating the shit out of Miguel Cotto. From the first round to the last round, he was beating his ass. Except Cotto was getting his legs back early, and then Margarito just caught up to him and beat his ass, man.
Hey,
Margarito, it looked like
Margarito was coming back in the second fight as well, man. He was coming in, coming on.
Yeah, Cole was about to quit.
Hold on. One at a time, please. One at a time.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. You want me to speak or want me? Okay. This is the thing about the second fight. Now, surely we know that he didn't have wraps in his hand. This is a guy after getting his orbital bone and his fucking cheekbone broken by Manny Pacquiao. Couldn't barely see. I mean, the eye was drooping before the fight even started, right?
Right.
So, and he's making a fucking comeback. Then they decided to stop the fight, right?
It was bullshit.
Technically, they stopped the fight, not what Cotto did. They said, "Listen, your eye's acting up again. We got to stop the fight." That was the excuse they had to give because looks like Cotto was in trouble again.
Right.
It really looked like he was.
This was at 154. They had bigger gloves on, and Miguel Cotto adjusted. He was holding from the very first round, and he was dancing and spinning and not getting caught on the rope. So it was a completely different fight. But it followed the same fucking pattern, except everything that happened in the first fight, it took a little bit longer for that to happen in the second fight.
Exactly.
And Margarito was already damaged good, so it doesn't prove shit about
If
no
Cotto,
raps, man.
if Margarito doesn't have that eye problem, he beats Cotto again in the Garden.
Yeah.
You know why?
He gets robbed.
You know why Pacquiao returned the belt at 154, and this was after the whole the whole loaded glove controversy. He fought Manny Pacquiao 154, and Pacquiao said, "Here, you can keep this title," because he said that he could handle the punch, but at 154 pounds, it was a whole lot different than 147 because after the fight, he felt like really sore to his body. So you know that Margarito was still carrying some. Yeah, but you know that Margarito's power, it was good, you know. Because he didn't defend the title. Pacquiao said, you can have it.
Here's the thing about...
He felt the difference from 147 to 154.
Here's the thing about Margarito. I was rewatching a couple of weeks ago the fight against Daniel Santos. Santos came in at about 170 pounds. It was a junior middleweight fight, but he weighed about 170 pounds. He definitely looked bigger than Margarito. And Margarito was walking him down. He even got stunned, Margarito. Margarito got... Yeah, he got robbed too a little bit. Well... We'll talk about it later. But
I thought so. But go.
Yeah, he got stunned. I think once. Really stunned. His legs wobbled, but he wouldn't stop coming forward. Now, this is what I always tell people. I'm getting a little bit tired of this skills pay the bills crowd. Where skills. Yeah, skills are important, technique and everything. But sometimes you gotta have a little something extra behind it. What's that?
Gotta have the chin, like you said, BDSR.
He's got a chin. He got
heart, man. You gotta have some grit.
That's right.
He said that he had a chin, but what you were saying, BDA, was that skills could look, man, definitely a good thing. You know, there's no doubt. But like, if anybody's ever been to a gym, you can see like guys with like nice technique. Sometimes they don't have no heart; they get beat the shit out of.
Right.
You know? So it translates to a fight as well because they just don't have like the heart, the chin, or maybe they have the chin, they just don't have no heart.
Yeah. Exactly.
Man, and this whole thing about Margarito being a bum. Look, apology, you my boy and all, but wake me the fuck up when either any of these top welterweights today have 11 title defenses. Wake me up when that happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was avoided by Floyd, man. That we know that.
Of course.
Floyd, I got a question with the Margarito. With the Margarito controversy, with the hand wraps, and given his resume, what do you guys think? Will he ever make the Hall of Fame?
Nah, no. It's doubtful.
No, but I don't give a fuck about the Hall of Fame. Was he a here's the question I always ask. Was he a great, very good fighter in his generation? And I'm going to say he was in that very good to great. Very good. The reason why I put very good is when you have fucking 11 title defenses, you're very good. At least that, if not great. Okay, you
I put him in.
But I don't care.
I put him in the category like Precise saying.
I don't care about the politics outside of it. Like all this nonsense. Like I think he was using something in his hands and all this nonsense. Like I don't get caught up in that.
Hey, Mike Tyson made it even after biting someone's ear off and shit. So
yeah, of course he did.
But Mike Tyson was way more popular, and everyone was
I know. Yeah,
it was like Mike Tyson.
Hey, by the way,
when I met Margarito, he looked really skinny. When I met him, he looked really skinny. He lives like 5 minutes away from my house.
No shit.
BDA.
BDA.
But he lives in the Philippines?
He lives in
Tijuana. I'm from Tijuana.
Okay. Sorry, what was that, Boxing Junkie?
BDA.
Yeah.
I'm getting a message. Can you unlock Michael Stout?
Who? Oh, God.
Oh, Michael Stott? Nah, man, fuck it.
Well, hold on. Here's the thing about Michael Stott. I never really... sorry. We only had a problem near the end when he started becoming a bit of a know-it-all, but I don't really have a problem with the guy anymore. I mean, at least not compared to...
I mean, we gave low play second chance.
Yeah,
we gave chances that we give to low play.
Exactly.
Come on.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not telling you what to do. I like Stott.
I don't know. He was lecturing us about Islam and shit in the chat.
I never had a problem with him, and I don't know about this. So.
And by the way, Bucho, because you know I'm guilty of giving people second, third, fucking fourth chances, but we never gave him a second chance. If you think about
it, it's like 10.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys just chopped his head off.
Recognize. I have him in the category like Precise was saying that he was really avoided, and nobody wanted to fight him. And one time, look, I was.
Are you talking about Michael Stott?
I'm from Tijuana.
Yeah, he
I'm
is.
talking about Margarito. Margarito.
Oh, okay.
Recognize.
Yes, sir.
I'm from Tijuana, right? So I stopped. I was doing the whole boxing thing in TJ, and I left and I joined the military. My neighbor went up to fight, become a pro, fight Pacquiao, fight Valero, this and that. So, I was reading the Ring magazines while I was in the military, and I was speaking to a chaplain, a Puerto Rican chaplain. Those are the priests in the military. And we were starting, we got a whole conversation going about boxing. He got really into it. And you know what he told me?
What's that?
Margarito, he got really excited and he got upset. Nobody wants to fight Margarito. And I struck a relationship because I'm from TJ, so it's like, I was talking to the chaplain. And that's true. He was very avoided.
Of course he was, man.
He was.
How do you think? How
when somebody's avoided, they don't want to talk about him. But when that fighter's getting old, like let's say for example something comparable to him, Golovkin, nobody wanted to talk about Golovkin when everybody.
If Golovkin
getting older.
If Golovkin wasn't a machine that demands attention, right? I'm not saying Margarito didn't do it in his own way, right? But there was some imperfections. Yeah, he lost some fights, some bullshit fights too. But because Triple G, basically, if he was as good as Margarito, which is not bad at all. Okay, it's gonna get you some money. He would have been a thought of the past right now. Nobody would even talk about it.
When BDA says that, skills don't always pay the bills. I'll say one time that pound for pound is also like. Can you hear me?
Oh, you're good now. Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, that skills don't pay the bills. That's true because like sometimes pound for pound, like you could say that somebody pound for pound, like Margarito at the time, he had a really good chin. Let's say Golovkin, he has a real good chin. Pound for pound, who has that chin that can take that much punishment in the entire world that can compete at that level, fighting another opponent? They want to give credit to like Broner was saying, I was controlling the distance. They want to give credit, but they don't want to give credit to innate skills, innate ability, like innate, like I have power, I have good punch resistance, something that God gave you that not everybody in this world possesses. If you have a good chin, God gave you that chin. That means that pound for pound, you have something as a fighter that other fighters wish they had, because if they had that chin, they wouldn't be saying, I control the distance. They would be pressing more. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, what do you guys think Floyd Mayweather versus Margarito, how would that have gone down?
Mayweather, no problem.
I don't know. I think that would have been a good fight, but what does Mayweather have problems with sometimes? Pressure fighters.
Yeah,
Corrales.
No, I think Mayweather just mastered. I think Mayweather just mastered the art of being like readjusting like a computer, like fighting like a cat. That's just skittish. So when you invest so much time to learning how to do something like that, and you don't practice other levels of your game, it doesn't mean you're a well-rounded fighter. He means he was just a defensive master. That learned how to not get knocked out and do barely enough to have these American judges side with the American fighter on American soil. Because a few of his fights are questionable.
Margarito was a nightmare fucking matchup for Mayweather. I'm not saying he would have beaten Mayweather, but it would have. I think he had a very good chance of beating Mayweather. I mean, his style is just anytime Mayweather fought a Mexican fighter, a guy that had a chin and came forward and threw punches. And look at his fight with. Look at his fight with Jesus Chavez. Chavez was on top of him, fucking hitting him all night. He was just little and he got knocked out. If you put him in the ring with the Jesus Chavez that's bigger than him, Mayweather would have run. He would have run. Hold on, let me finish, bro. Mayweather would have run for his dear life all night, like in the fucking, when he fought the Argentinian dude and people booed his ass. He would have maybe gotten the peck of victory like that with just little pot shots here and there, or he would have gotten his ass fucking beat the fuck down. So it was a nightmare matchup for Mayweather. Don't compare it to Corrales, because Corrales, that was at a completely different weight class when Mayweather was lightning fast and just Like that was his very, very prime right there. And Corrales was weight trained and weak as fuck. He couldn't take a punch. Margarito would have walked through whatever Mayweather threw at him, and Mayweather would have had to keep throwing until he finally. Could he stop him? I don't think so, man. Look how long it took him to stop Ricky Hatton. How many other shots would Margarito walk through? Man, it's nightmare for Mayweather.
It's interesting. I was telling Bucho this the other day. Like Juan Manuel Marquez, he was able to stop guys that nobody at the time had ever stopped before. Like he stopped Juan Diaz. Nate Campbell couldn't do it at that time. He stopped Casamayor. Nobody had ever stopped Casamayor. He knocked out fucking Pacquiao. When did Mayweather ever stop somebody that was never stopped before? You know what I mean? Like Hatton went on to be stopped twice. He couldn't stop De La Hoya. The people he stopped usually were 140, 135, 130. You know what I mean? Like he never actually sat down and said, you know what, let me try to hurt this person and try to break him down.
The best Floyd Mayweather was from 130 to 140, but I would even say more 130 to 135, where he was, because at 140, I mean, there's not too many examples. So, although he looked good in the fight,
true,
he did have that one.
Now Mayweather would weight train Margarito.
Yeah, but what do you think about the first Jose Luis Castillo fight against Pretty Boy Floyd?
He lost it. I think Floyd lost.
Clearly, in my opinion.
Clearly
lost that fight. He lost.
I was kind of upset with that decision.
He lost the story of the fight. He lost everything in that fight.
Every bit of it. You got it, man.
I thought he lost too.
Now, give him credit. The second fight, he made some adjustments, and he fought a lot better, and he beat. And I give him.
He made adjustments. He made adjustments, but in the grand scheme of things, he was never going to be the fighter that was going to make adjustments and go in there and fight with you. He was going to go. He made adjustments based on the fact that he knew how to get away from you, and he knew who he was going to fight.
Safety first.
Safety first. So based off the first fight, he says, I just got to fight a little bit more safer, do things a little bit more different on the defensive side, and I'll win again. But as far as pressing, when, like I would mention that when he fought what's this, UFC fighter's name?
Side again?
Hello?
What?
The UFC fighter's name.
Like
Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, he knew he was going to fight somebody with no boxing ability, and he came forward, and he really did not look good. He looked like he was out of his element.
Yeah, he can do it, but he can't.
So when he's there in the audience and they're asking him, are you willing to take the Pacquiao rematch? And he didn't give an answer. He didn't shake his head yes or no. I think with Mayweather being older and his legs probably not the same as they were, you could say the same thing about Pacquiao. He knows that he's not going to be able to get away from him maybe as easier as the first fight, and Pacquiao's going to make adjustments. So they asked him, "Are you willing to take the fight?" He didn't answer.
He doesn't want it.
No, I don't think he does.
They're making rumors that there's that they could possibly fight on the September 14th, Independence Day weekend. If they were ever to fight again, they take now that Canelo's the Mexican fighting under those two dates, Denver.
I don't think he would be on Mexican Independence Day though, because Canelo might fight Golovkin again. I think. And let's be honest, I mean, nobody wants to see that fight again. I mean,
because he took the opportunity to fight on those 2 days because he knows the Mexican fan base was gonna buy the fights. He really took advantage of that marketing scheme, if you can call it that. But now that Canelo's fighting under the May 5th and September 16 dates, hello? Yeah. I read an article saying, they could possibly fight on the 14th, but, what do you think? No?
I don't think so. I think it's over here.
Like Mayweather wants to fight.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Like Gonzalo said, that if Mayweather's legs go, that's it. That's his game plan against Pacquiao. That's always been his game plan. Just run. I mean, the longer he stays still.
What else are you gonna do, man?
I think he might make Pacquiao fight somebody tough. just to get that edge off Pacquiao before he gives him a rematch.
Well, I tell you
That's
what.
what I'm thinking.
Going back to Pacquiao versus Spence, 2009 Pacquiao against 2019 Errol Spence, I picked Pacquiao all the way, and I'm working on a video right now regarding how Spence is very good because he can cut off the ring, cut off the distance, beautiful body punching, but he is there to get hit. And if he fights elite level guys like a Keith Thurman, like a Terence Crawford, that difference there, that he can be hit and he might not be able to hit them. Boom, that right there is equals outboxing.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I have to say something about this fight. What a contrast of not just styles, like attitudes. Pacquiao, totally like the humble, good guy. You know, even giving credit to what's it, Broner, and Broner, the opposite, the total jackass. You could clearly see the two polar opposites, man.
Yeah,
but you know what? Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Pacquiao wasn't always a good Christian soldier. I mean, he was cheating on his wife, you know, eating ass. He was going to cockfights. I know that's what they do in the Philippines, but you know, come on.
Hey, did I tell you I met him, BDA, up here in the Philippines?
Yeah, it does.
Well, I wasn't there,
Yeah.
Bucho. Come on.
Yeah, I saw him and he spoke to me in Spanish because he used to do the TV Azteca commercials, and he goes, "My intentions were not to fight another Mexican. Mis intenciones no eran pelear con otro mexicano." He said in Spanish like that. Pero tú sabes cómo son las cosas. You know how things are.
Did he say that with the same accent as you, or because you got that fucking heavy accent?
He sounded like in Spanish.
I always imagined Pacquiao speaking Spanish like this. Yo quiero saber por qué tú, you know. That's how he talks. I'm not making fun of the guy. I'm just saying that's how he talks. Come on. But yeah, it's interesting. He's able to speak. Oh, by the way, speaking of Spanish, when Pacquiao was doing the interview with TV Azteca, I think he was doing it with TV Azteca last night. Eric Morales was next to him. Boy, oh boy, is Eric Morales. He looked like boy.
Heavyweight.
Yeah.
He needs to hit the treadmill, man. Come on.
I used to run with Eric Morales when I was a teenager.
Well, maybe you should run a little with him again, man, because he looks like he's bloated.
And his brother's more Pelucho Morales. He's got a brother who was a fighter too. He's worse. He's big as fuck.
No shit.
It's Mexican food, man.
Hey, speaking of big, did you guys see Kelly Pavlik on Joe Rogan?
No, I didn't see that.
Pavlik, yeah.
He's fucking huge, man.
Oh, Pavlik. I thought Tyson. Yeah.
He's like 220, I think he said. 230.
Like Marcus Browne.
Hey, BDA, apparently, Andre Ward apparently wants to fight Pavlik. I think that's what I said, man.
Pavlik said, yeah.
Why not Chavez
was scouting Pavlik. He was looking for opponents. He said, would you come back for like 10 million? That's what Pavlik said. Would you ever come back for like $10 million?
10 million? Where are they going to get that money from? That's bullshit, man.
Well, I mean, come on. Ward makes like $1 million pay-per-view buys every time he fights. So I think they can get him 10 million. Come on. Hey, if he could fight,
that fight won't generate enough money to. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I don't think anybody wants to see Andre Ward, especially against a guy who hasn't boxed in ages.
All right, then how about Chavez Jr.? Would you watch that?
Oh, come on.
I don't ever want to see Chavez Jr. again.
I want to see. I want to see Chavez Jr. against Mayweather.
Oh, come on! What's the matter
with
you?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, because he does his fights. He did it with the little guy. Now I have to do it with the big guy, like a novelty. But he would knock his ass out. Have the bully weight bully slash bum Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. against Mayweather. Anyways,
Mayweather should take pity on. Was that?
You know what's kind of sad? You know what? Would you guys agree with me? You know what's kind of sad? I think if Broner would have done a little bit more, they almost would have said or called it like he won the fight or made it like really close. where obviously it still wouldn't have been enough to beat
Some people
Pacquiao.
already
He would have
did,
done
bro.
a little bit more.
Yeah, like
If you
precisely. Some
would've-
people
no,
already
bro.
did. Some people already did that. Yeah, some people are saying that he won the
Yep.
fight. Broner won the fight. So there
Yeah,
you go, man.
you put some. I
But
think
if he actually would have done a little more, they would have had it a lot closer on the judges. I'm referring. That's kind of sad too, because think about the Mayweather fight. If the Mayweather does happen, if the Mayweather fight does happen, you know Mayweather's gonna do a little bit more than Broner. But even if Pacquiao wins, they're still not gonna give it to him.
Yeah, fuck that fight.
His back foot style,
Okay,
controlling
wait,
the
hold on.
distance.
All right, go ahead, Reverse.
That's it.
Bucho, I saw you put somebody's live stream in our private chat of why they said why we think Adrian Broner at least drawed or won.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, what the fuck is that?
So where I'm going with this, what do you think they're gonna do with Mayweather? Mayweather's gonna do the exact same fight, and he's gonna do a little more. And what are they gonna say then?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean that's a given.
All Floyd has to do is clinch and hope that he has a bit of his leg still, and then he wins the fight. So that's why also I don't want Pacquiao to take the fight. I don't want him to just get another loss when he also.
We know what
it.
happens.
Exactly.
Like, we know what happens. There's no intrigue, no interest. There's nothing there. Like, we already know how this fight goes, and it's gonna suck.
Yeah. Well,
Don't forget about Kenny Bayless.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say, you know, it's gonna happen in Las Vegas.
You know
it's gonna be Kenny Bayless. You know, he's gonna choose the gloves. He's gonna choose the ring size. He's gonna clinch, and he was not gonna get warned for excessive clinching. I mean, come on, man. Why would you take that fucking
man?
He actually took Kenny Bayless to Japan with him. Like, I'm not making it up. Kenny Bayless was the referee for the tension fight.
Oh, that's right.
He called Kenny Bayless. He's like, "Hey, you want to come to Japan and eat some sushi?"
Oh,
And he
man.
was like, "Yeah, let's do it."
It's kind of like when Tony Weeks was refereeing the Andre Ward fight, and he gave him a bumps with the fist bump with the gloves. When he went into the fight, he's like, "Yeah, Tony Weeks, boom."
Oh man,
I got you. I got you, homie.
I got you, brother. I got you.
Did he also bring the guy who rings the bell and stuff?
Yeah, man. And by the way, speaking of crazy people, didn't Kovalev now he's being accused of fucking hitting a woman on the face with a wrench or something?
What?
Yeah, he's being accused that.
We've all been there once.
He was probably drunk on vodka. No big deal.
We've all been there at least once in our life.
Yeah.
Let me find the story here. Sergey Kovalev beats the shit out of a whore. No, sorry.
Yeah, he punched her in the face, but that's it.
He probably told her, "I must break you." I'm the crusher.
Yeah, but it's.
Let's be honest. She probably had it coming.
This guy's insane, man. Well,
yeah, but the story sounds fishy, man. Like, you read about it, I read it, and
boxer Sergey Kovalev charged.
Bucho?
What?
What happened with the whole Kovalev beat up some chick?
I don't know. Apparently, like the story says that she claims that he approached her, and then like she didn't want anything to do with him, and then he got mad. Like that classic story is complete. I usually they're lying these women when they say
Kovalev
that.
has some money, right? And if he really wanted some ass, he could just order it.
Exactly. It's like he's married and everything. I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like that.
And his wife, even as old as she is, she doesn't look too bad for an old Russian lady.
I don't know, man. Listen, the fucking Kovalev, he's a psycho, man. I would be surprised if this really happened.
Well, these days, everybody, there's all these accusations. We gotta wait and see, you know.
That's true.
This is like that Mayweather, where he had a past of doing this type of stuff.
Right.
And he's a jealous type also, so I don't know. Maybe we'll have to wait and see, man.
You think if Rashi Warren hit his wife, he could knock her out, or would she still remain standing?
She would probably knock him out.
yeah, no, he's changing.
When they go to court, like, did he punch you in the face? No, I think he bitch slapped me.
At least he didn't take her to the mountains and chop her head off. Listen, I think we're about done here for today, unless anybody has something else they want to say before we go.
We could leave that to Rashid Warren's opponent.
At least Rashid Warren raised his opponent's hand and gave him credit where Broner was a total asshole.
Yeah, Broner's got no fucking. Broner's got no fucking.
After the Malignaggi fight, fuck. That was annoying, man. Embarrassing.
Yeah, man. He does that too often. Listen, and then he's getting into beef last year with Tekashi 69 or whatever his fucking name is, the Puerto Rican rapper. Right? Recognize he's Puerto Rican, right?
100% Puerto Rican. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I heard he's Mexican too.
No, I don't know.
Mexican, Puerto Rican.
Out of that one.
All right, so listen, guys. I want to thank you for being here. Oh yeah.
BDA, do you think you could do a video like later, not now, whenever you have time, about Alberto Machado? Is he a good fighter? The Puerto Rican?
He's pretty good, man. Yeah.
Puerto Rican.
Yep. Yeah, the only Puerto Rican you fuckers have left. He's the only fighter you guys have.
Yeah. He's the last of the Mohicans.
I don't know, Gonzalez. I think he's pretty good, but I don't know if he can, like, I would love to see him against Tank Davis or Burchelt. I think he's pretty good.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Freddie Roach certainly seems to think so, if he's got in his corner.
They relegated him to being like the bucket guy with the mouthpiece. I wonder how. I think these Filipino people, they're really like superstitious. I think they just brought him back just in case, not to have like bad energy on their side.
Yeah,
we'll bring Freddie Roach and have him carry the bucket with the spit.
He wasn't just doing that. Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying.
They're real superstitious,
Yeah, they are. They're like Mexicans. We got our superstitions too with the fucking Santa Muerte and all that.
Let's bring Freddie Roach back, but let's just have him there as a side piece.
Yeah, what the fuck is he doing anyway?
He was there as eye candy. Fucking sexy ass Freddie Roach. Listen, all right, who's got their fucking phone on? All right, listen, guys. I want to thank everybody who joined today. I want to thank Boxing Junkie, Reverse Lee, Recognize the Matrix, Bucho as always, John Gonzalez Arroyo. I'm fucking dying over here.
Gonzalo Anaya. Gonzalo.
Okay, just Gonzalo. I want to thank also Precise, who was here. Apology Man was here as well. Cameron was here. So thanks a lot, guys, for having joined us. Butch is probably going to do another show this week. I don't think I can.
My pleasure, man. It's the Boxing Junkie. I'm out.
That's right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. And
bye-bye.
My pleasure.
Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody coming here. I want to thank everybody in the chat room as well. Nesmatic, Azzy, Grievous, the Fight Scout, Overhand, Chris Gonzalez, the Punisher.
The announcements.
Joe Lopez, Fight Scout. Who else? Slapnuts.
I have the announcements here.
All right, go ahead.
All right, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to have notifications. Holy fuck, man! Hold on.
All right, let me keep thanking Reality Voice. I want to thank him. 100% X, Grievous, Pete Stamas, Philippe Courtois. I think that's his name. Felipe Courtois. I don't know. Fuck. Gerson Medina. Who else? Fight Scout, Cachnello, of course. Right. Yes, keep going.
Please support us on Patreon if you can. PayPal. Check out BDA Boxing Live, which is our second channel. Mr. BDA posted a fight analysis there regarding Spence Jr. and Mikey Garcia, the fight that's coming up. He's going to be posting another video, from what I heard today. Facebook. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Spreaker. We're on iTunes. We're on Google Play. Check us out on those platforms as well.
That's right. And again, thanks to everybody who was in the chat room. And I suppose we'll see you on the next one. Oh, I want to give a shout out to Haymanites via Twitter, who's always making great fucking photos. If you want to burst out laughing every time you see his photoshops, go to Twitter. Butch always retweets them in our Twitter page. So shout out to Haymanites. And thanks everybody again who joined. And thanks everybody who was listened. We'll see you on the next one, folks. Take care.
See ya.